Okay, why is this not working? Down. Hey, come on. Hey, alright. Okay, that's not right. Maybe? Okay, I think it's working now. Cross fingers, knock on wood. Alright, let's share out. Twitter. Come on, Book of Faces. Tweet. Post. And come on. Share. Yes, confirm. Exit, exit, exit. Alright. DSP's off today. Yay. But I'm off today as well. Yay. So let's make fun of DSP. I played a ton of Divinity 2 yesterday. Got to a new island. Went from, yay, you finally leveled up to level 16. Alright, let's move to a new area. Yay, everything's higher than you. Fuck. And you can't go back. Tear. Anyways, yes, behind me is the raw DSP live stream. Oh shit, that's right. The raw DSP live stream has his entire stream because he doesn't record his pre-stream on the late stream. Why? That's usually when he does his hardest begging. Like, he will cry and beg for a good 10-15 minutes that normally would be encompassing the entire 2-hour pre-stream from his earlier streams. If I was able to compact 2 hours of begging into 15 minutes, it's amazing. But he does. Let's get the music. Guy was selling this song. Nope, still music. Although I don't know if he does that 15 minutes of begging in this video because I've not watched it yet. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Worky, 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 work, work.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome.
How's everybody doing today?
Everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Oh, goddamn. Already got Cobra, Lee, Lodge, Mr. Basket Sample Task. Gah. Well, Lee, he went to a so-called scholarship factory for athletes. But he's not athletic, so why did he go to that school specifically? Almost done with Mortal Phoenix Rising. How are you liking it? I'm not going to base my opinion on the game off of DSP playing it. I'd rather know someone that doesn't suck at life. And yes, EA Sports is bringing back college football. Holla holla. Well, before my car accident, I played free safety. So, who's good for free safeties? Like some schools, like you don't go to OSU for a quarterback. For some reason, OSU cannot make a good quarterback in the pros. You want a defensive lineman, you go to OSU. Well, I also know I've already saw on Twitter that some of his games are on the "this is the worst game I've ever played ever." Somehow also on his best game list. As he should, Lee. Screw that school. That trash.
Hello, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting, but it took me a while to get set up.
Why the fuck? Whoa. Why does he look like Hitler?
I'm good to go now.
Is he really trying to grow the Hitler stash? DSP, of all the facial hair that you could use, you're really going to go for that facial hair? Really?
Wow. And tonight's late stream is just going to be the best games of the year of 2020. No extra added gameplay after this or whatever. I have 16 games to go through. 16. And with 16 games to go through, I get the feeling it's going to take
oh shit, I'm
over an hour,
in front of him, aren't I?
Not longer.
Let's move me.
So because of that, we're not going to need any extra time. It's essentially going to take us right up to like 9 p.m. or later, okay? Should be a good time. I hope you guys are ready. I want
9 p.m., guys. That gives them, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2.
During the stream,
that gives them 6 hours to play WWE Champions.
Or between the countdown numbers. But please, I would ask if you are going to contribute, try not to derail the stream with messages that have absolutely nothing to do with this countdown. I am going to try to stay on topic. If you want to talk about off-topic stuff, please wait till after the countdown is done, and then we can talk all about that stuff, all right? If you
but you already said the countdown is going to be the entire video.
Please tip me. I really
so how are you?
Badly. Right now, I need to get through to the middle of the month until Twitch pays me, and your tips are...
You just said the entire video is going to be your countdown. So how are they supposed to talk about something off topic after the video? And you know what? I am doing it at 1.25 speed, but let's slow it down and go back a little bit. Because we get right... The begging I was just talking about, we got right to it.
If you do contribute during the stream, I will try to give you a shout out between the countdown numbers. But please, I would ask if you are going to contribute, try not to derail the stream with messages that have absolutely nothing to do with this countdown. I am going to try to stay on topic. If you want to talk about off-topic stuff, please wait till after the countdown is done, and then we can talk about that stuff.
Wait for it.
If you are going to contribute tonight, which I would appreciate if you, please tip me. I really need tips badly. Right now, I need to get through to the middle
exactly
of the month.
Mind.
Pays me, and your tips are literally the only income I'm going to have to pay stuff. So please tip me if you can. I appreciate all those who do. Thank you in advance. It would be nice to hit the tips goal tonight. When we did that disappointing games countdown, I only raised like 30 bucks.
The only income he's got coming in right now is his tips. He got over $6,000 on the 15th of last month. About the 20th, 22nd, he got $1,000 from YouTube. Either today, tomorrow, possibly he'll be getting paid from Patreon. It's only a few $100s, but I only got tips. That's my only income. What about tomorrow when you get your Patreon? And I know it's only like $300, but it's something. Isn't it? Right? That'd be a source of income. Also, doesn't your wife work? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure the wife still works. If she had lost her job or recorded something, you know he would have bitched about that. He would have blamed the trolls. She had to quit, dude. She kept having trolls showing up to her job. So no, it's not just tips. You have Patreon coming. You have your wife working. You have behind-the-scenes shit. And you got paid over $6,000 on the 15th of last month. God damn, look at that Hitler stash.
Bucks.
If he had a full beard, it wouldn't look as bad. But it doesn't have the beard. It's just patchy. So all you see is a nice, dark Hitler stash and then nothing.
It'd be great if we could hit the tips goal. Maybe even get a vest on for the end of the countdown. That would be interesting, huh?
John Merler, how you doing?
Okay.
Do not feel bad for him. He's a piece of shit.
For a whopping 46.
Holla for drama alert.
Before we start, when I did the disappointing games countdown, you liked having the PS5 music playing, so I'm just going to keep it playing in the background. Okay? Since you guys seem to like that, we'll just go ahead with the same thing. Okay? All right, are we ready? Are we ready? All right, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do a little bit of an
like he pays the IRS anything.
The premise of what we're doing and everything here, okay? You know, YouTube viewers as well want a little bit of an intro. They like that. So, All right, here we go.
And
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, DSP here, and
so the first 11 minutes of this video was not going to his YouTube. So him just crying and screaming, "Give me tits, my only income," did not make it to his YouTube video. He just now started. God, what a face only a mother could love.
welcome to my best game.
And even then, I don't think she did.
Countdown. Sorry, it took a lot longer this year to pump this out than I usually would do it.
Naruto, how you doing?
So many games that came out in 2020 that I actually enjoyed, and there were actually so many games that were good at the end of the year that it took me an extra amount of time to actually make this countdown because I wanted to finish up with
you're
some
a
of the
bitch.
ongoing playthroughs that I was doing before I weighed and balanced the games against each other and actually ranked them.
Yes,
for this
WWE
countdown.
champions.
So, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what to
The only
expect,
bill he pays,
we have
WWE champions
many
bill.
games that are honorable mentions, games that for one reason or another I felt were
This
not
week,
in the top
probably
10
not. They're gonna
20, but
probably
I'm
get their
gonna
shit
tell you
together
specifically what I liked
sometime
about
in
them,
late March,
and maybe
early
the reason
April.
why I didn't make my top 10 picks. There's actually a bunch of these, so it's going to take a while to get through those before we actually get to the official top 10. Then, with the official top 10 games, as usual, I'm going to give you a mini review of why that game was outstanding and how it stood out from the rest of the games.
But just wait.
Now, I want to reiterate something that I actually said back in my most disappointing games countdown, excuse me. So you may see some carryovers. There actually might have been some games in my most disappointing games countdown that you're going to see tonight in the best games countdown. Why? Because a disappointing game doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. Even
Really? This game was the worst game I ever played. By the way, it's also the best of the year that I played. Ack. Makes no sense, Hitler.
if there's games that I didn't think were the best they obviously could be, they still might have been among some of the
Exactly.
best
Where's
games
this Divinity
of the year,
2
and
at?
I'm going to call those games out and give them a fair shake because I don't want them to go.
Your fans already paid you over $1,000 to play, and he's refusing to play
judge
it.
how good games are just because I personally didn't like one little thing about the game. You know, subjectivity versus objectivity, right? If there's games that commonly people really liked, chances are there's something good.
Doing
about
all right,
Even
Luis.
if I didn't love them, I'm still going to give them credit where credit is due. Fair enough? So I hope you understand that. And if people, oh my God, why is there something that was in a bad list on the good list? Because the world's not black and white. That's not how it works. Something might have been disappointing to me, but I still really liked it and admit that it's one of the better games of the year. Okay?
Makes
Fair enough?
no sense.
All right, thank you, Elon on Wheels, for
Like,
this.
he has Maneater on there,
Let
but
us
he's not
now
actually played it
begin
yet, as far as I know.
with their countdown of the best games of 2020. We're going to start with honorable mentions. Again,
Exactly,
these
DeBoll.
are games that, for some reason or another, didn't official top 10 games of the year, and I'm going to tell you specifically why. All right? We start with honorable mention, Fall Guys. Yes, a game that literally came out of nowhere in the summer of
That you got for
2020.
free
A
and
game
made
that
a
I probably
few
never would've
$1,000s off
played
of it.
if it weren't for free on PS Plus. But admittedly, this game actually was super duper fun.
No, it wasn't, but it was the very first
When
game he
there weren't
bitched
a ton of
about.
Game releases, and
It's
during
pretty
the year
hilarious.
where COVID basically screwed up all the game release schedules. If everything had been normal, maybe Fall Guys never would have ever been noticed, nor ever got any traction. But undoubtedly, the summer of 2020 was
It's
dominated by
Goutception.
people playing Fall Guys, and this game basically going viral on the internet.
I just not realized I
Now,
fucked
this
up
is a
the
game
title
where
of
you
this, didn't
basically
I?
are doing a most extreme elimination style challenge. You're doing different kinds of physical stages. Sometimes you're trying to dodge obstacles. Sometimes you're trying to guess what gate is real. And you're competing against people on the internet at all times. It's not a single player game at all. It's all about online competition and ranking and points.
God, how the hell did I fuck that one up?
When you grab a crown,
Pretty
you get
bad.
points where then you can use to buy new outfits for your characters. It's a very addictive game, even though there really are no real life prizes, and even though it's not necessarily the most fair.
Well, you didn't get a trophy in real life,
Incredibly fun to
dude?
just jump in and out
No
of
wonder it
Fall
didn't make it
Guys.
his top
The
10.
cool thing about Fall Guys is it was free for PS Plus subscribers, so you didn't have to pay any additional money if you had a PlayStation Online account. You were just able to play this game and enjoy it.
You had to change it real quick.
And it really worked out well. They started having tie-ins with various other video game
I was
franchises.
supposed to start about an hour ago, but I was fighting with
games,
YouTube about a
and
copyright
it got very
issue.
popular for about 2 to 2.5 months there. It's kind of funny the way that it all worked out. I never heard of the game. I wasn't going to play it, and then people urged me to try it when it became free for PS Plus, and I said, all right, fine, I'll give it a shot. And I got hooked on it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought that this game was very, very fun. Now, Why is this only an...
The eyes always do that as soon as they start OBS.
There's 2 reasons. The first reason is because, excuse me, the game had limited content at launch. You know, you could probably play this game for on and off, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then eventually you're just going to start to get bored of it because they didn't really have a lot of content at first. It was maybe, 10 stages or something like that.
Don't even think it was 10 stages.
But you want more content than that. And then the game developers did kind of an interim update where they decided to release a few more updates and stages and remix the stages to make them harder, which was nice of them. And then they had a Season 2. And honestly, I'd say probably around the Season 2 was where the game didn't really shine anymore. When Season 2...
I'm not struggling like he did.
After July, August, into September, I think it was like late September, something like that. There just wasn't much content added to it. They added maybe 2 new stages that were medieval themed, but outside of that, most of the stages remained the same or just slightly tweaked. It just wasn't enough content to hold over gamers, and gamers moved on to the next viral sensation.
He's been piss-colored.
And basically, this game was almost all
matching the wall again.
The #1 game people were talking about on social media, and was just super hyped. And like overnight, because
like you can see this, like his beard's even more patchy than it normally is.
Everyone just kind of forgot about it, which is very, very unfortunate because it was a game that had potential to grow.
Which if his beard wasn't so patchy, he wouldn't look like Hitler right now. But
they just didn't do it.
It just you get the dark Hitler stash and then nothing.
In December, I played it and got bored within an hour. I just didn't want to play it anymore because again, most of the
because you weren't making enough money.
You can only do so much with the same stages over and over. So, Fall Guys, a great game, a fun game.
Why would he clean his... Dude, he doesn't clean anything. Why would he clean his camera lens when he literally cleans nothing?
Hits that was only popular really during the summer of 2020. And give it a few more months, and I don't know if anyone will even talk about this game anymore, which is sad, but Fall Guys undoubtedly was one of the best games of this last year. But being that it did only have flash-in-the-pan success, I give it an honorable mention.
He'll never get that beard again.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's on to the next honorable mention for the best games of 2020. Are you ready? Without further ado, here we go. The next honorable mention is Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PlayStation 5.
Spider-Man Miles
Morales is a standalone expansion to 2018's Marvel Spider-Man.
That's probably why it's only honorable mention, because it's not a real game, dude. This is an expansion.
It's a game that actually showcases the capabilities of the PlayStation 5 in an incredibly great way. Full 60 frames per second web swinging through New York City. Having ray tracing.
He never does that.
You know, that graphical capability, I mean, it's unheard of on consoles, and having it pretty much, right from the get-go. Having a lot of enemies on the screen at once, and the frame rate never really dipping. It had an original story, a new cast of characters different from the cast from the original Spider-Man game. I really enjoyed Spider-Man Miles Morales. I even really liked, if you take a look at the environments, how it took place in winter with snow, and it was like a Christmas kind of theme. When the game came out right before Christmas, so it kind of went right in line with the holiday season. I was like, man, this is like the perfect time for this game to come out and to play it. Also, the fact it was not a full-priced game, because it shouldn't have been. It certainly didn't have as much content as the original Marvel Spider-Man. But it was a really fun romp.
Love the 90s cartoon that aired on Fox.
There's a strong reason
seen every single episode.
why Spider-Man Miles Morales is not officially in my top 10 favorite games of the year. Because it's
Miles
basically
is black.
the same game as Marvel Spider-Man. Even though it kind of improves upon it in certain ways, and even though it has better graphics, and it has a few more odds and ends added to the combat, once you get maybe 2-3 hours into it, you realize it really is almost identical to Marvel Spider-Man from 2 years ago.
Wow, Spider-Man game is just like a Spider-Man game? It's just like a Spider-Man game?
It's hard for me to say, oh, wow, this is one of the best games of the year. I think it's a great highlight of what the PlayStation 5 can do. And if anything, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you didn't play this game yet, and you're looking for a great action-adventure game, you probably want to give it a look, especially because it is one of the best running games on PS5 right now. But outside of that, it really is Marvel Spider-Man all over again, with very little innovation.
And Marvel Spider-Man was a great game, so... Gee, why would they copy an amazing game? Doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute, yes it does.
It's pretty much identical. And because of that, I can't say, oh, it was outstanding and blew me away, best game of the year. But I can definitely say it was a great game that needs a mention, especially if you have a PS5. I feel it's a must-play. Okay? Fair enough.
Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig.
All right. 2 down, many more to go. People are loving my hairstyle. It's going crazy because I just got out of the shower, and that's perfectly fine. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the poofiness. All right. Moving on.
You took a shower?
The next honorable mention the best games of 2020.
Press X to dot on that. There's no way he took a shower.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That is right. The latest installment of Assassin's Creed takes place during Viking times, much like the last one took place during, Greek mythology, and the one before that was Egyptian. This one goes to Norse mythology, and it's an interesting and fun game. I do like the character of Ivor. I like the idea that you're a Viking in a new land. You're displaced from where you came from, where to Scandinavia or whatever. You go to England. You're trying to make a foothold. You're exploring. You're getting allies. I like the idea of raids and taking over bases. It's really cool to take battering rams and knock down the front gates of big fortresses. And I definitely enjoy the combat.
So it's nothing like Assassin's Creed
absolutely
game.
Nothing like we've come to expect from Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed, let's face it, this game is Assassin's Creed in name only. This franchise has gone so far off the rails of what you would expect in an assassination franchise. I don't know why they call it Assassin's Creed, except that they claim it's still in the main plot line of the games. But the combat's crazy. Being able to dual wield all different kinds of weapons, having all these various combat abilities that can make you crazy overpowered. You can be a crazy melee attacker. You can do ranged attacks, poison.
I just never realized I'm kind of the meat in the DSP sandwich. I don't know if I like this or not.
Unparalleled amount of content. The map is huge. There's so much side content to do in this game. The environments are.
There's Jasper. Hi, Jasper.
PlayStation 5. When I started playing this on PS4 Pro, I thought it looked good. When I started playing it on PS5, I was blown away. It's full 60 frames with that level of detail. They did a great job with that. Okay, but there's two major reasons why I feel Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mind you, this game came out in what? November? So December, January, February. He's now been playing it for 3 months. Hasn't been it yet.
Outside of those two major reasons. All right, let's just go through the things that I think are a little bit annoying about the game. First of all, yes, it's pretty similar to Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey.
Shit,
they
Timo.
Really did not go try to innovate much at all. It's the same premise. It's an open world. You explore. You're looking for targets. You got story missions.
Space Cat is for Senda. Dodge is for
the
the DSP.
Trying to upgrade over the course of the game, and the combat definitely has been refined. But it's definitely the same style of game. There's no real difference.
And I don't know about you, but when I think of South, I don't think of Vikings.
From Assassin's Creed. So because it doesn't really innovate that much, it's hard to get the third iteration.
I'm surprised they still haven't gone to Japan yet.
In addition to that, the game is so effing long.
Well, thank you, Pix
Right?
Gaming.
I started playing this game on release day in early November.
Holla, holla.
I knew that with all the new releases that were coming out to pair up with the release of PlayStation 5, there was no way I was going to be able to play this consistently. So I played it on and off for about a month, and then I brought it back as a major playthrough. I am now at 70 hours into the game. And
30 hours of that is you doing tipquisitions and playing in the menu.
One major side quest line, which is kind of a cool quest line where you go to Asgard, which is really neat. I won't spoil too much about it for those who haven't played the game, but it's kind of a really interesting what-if plot line. Outside of that, it's all going around conquering areas, and each area has its own little mini-story, and some of them are good and some of them aren't so good, I would say. The writing varies from pretty great to meh, kind of mediocre. There's just too much content in the game. There's just quantity versus quality, and we have quantity.
There wouldn't be so much content if you actually focus on the game.
Because there's so much content
and not tipquisitions.
The regions of England, that sadly it gets lost. It feels so watered down. It feels so repetitive, and the pacing of the game is completely destroyed.
Every Assassin's Creed game has a shit ton of side quests.
The game is so long, it doesn't feel like anything you do is meaningful.
And the game isn't that long. It's just that long because you take forever to play any game.
The bottom line with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's a game that's so long that you actually don't feel like
you literally took an 18-minute demo and turned it into over an hour.
I haven't beaten it yet. I've been playing it hardcore for a month now as a major gameplay stream game, and I'm still 70+ hours in, and I still haven't beaten it. That's ridiculous.
You took an 18-minute demo and turned it into over an hour.
They're giving you an insane gameplay experience. That's great, but then what they really need to do is they need to innovate. Make it feel like every moment that you're playing the game, there's something interesting or different happening. It's not the case with this game. This game, it just feels like you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over.
So every single Assassin's Creed game.
You know, I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. I'm 70 hours in. I just want Creed to me. She's about 60 hours in. She just wants it to end. We're both the same mentality that this, even if you're a huge fan, at some point you're gonna feel like, man, when does a story ever happen? Like when do we get any resolution to what the hell is going on? So it's a great game, but just because the pacing is off and because it does feel too much like the previous games, I, in right mind, couldn't put this in my top 10 games of the year. By the way, I haven't even been able to...
I just broke 70 hours on Divinity 2 yesterday. Great game.
Games of the year, okay? However, it is still a great game, and it definitely deserves to be shouted out here, okay? All right. Let's see here. System Error 20 resubscribed
How's it going?
To the channel. So congratulations to System Error. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. Elon on Wheels, I forgot to put him up as the top cheerer, so I'll do that very quickly, and then we will continue on with the countdown. Was it 50 bits? Okay. Very good. All right. Continuing on. Honorable mentions. As you can tell, this is going to be a long countdown. I've got 3 honorable mentions in. We haven't even made it to the top 10 games yet. Okay? The next honorable mention.
Yeah, but it's hilarious for the wrong reasons, Alan Wrench.
Paper Mario and the Origami King. Now, admittedly, when I played this game, I didn't know what to expect because I never fully...
All right. what I was saying on Twitter, this is going to be good, so we're going to go back to normal speed.
Played a Paper Mario game before. I had only played one, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. That was a very long time ago on GameCube. Okay? I really liked Paper Mario and the Origami King. I actually felt that this game was something unique and different.
Yes, it is, Vegas.
It's not a Mario game. It doesn't play like a Mario game. It doesn't feel like a Mario game. A lot of ways, it feels closer to, say, Super Mario RPG.
A Mario game.
Every single piece of combat in the game is basically a mini puzzle. I enjoyed the difference between the worlds of the game. I like the open world.
There is no. Holy shit, he's rocking pretty hard on the other screen.
Items, hidden toads that were kind of.
Yeah, his facial hair is trash. No beard. Then you get the Dark Hitler stash going on.
Odd that they were all like office equipment, but the game was pretty original. I would say out of all the games I played in 2020, this game kind of sticks out in my mind because it was just so different. Mario in this weird world of.
And for some reason, well, I think he doesn't want to shave it off because then it just goes to show just how terrible his chin looks.
Office tools is the main focus. There were light to dark elements. There were cool puzzle elements, fire, ice.
Ooh, he's probably hating on Paper Mario then.
I enjoyed it. Cameo appearances from characters like Bowser and stuff. Really neat.
If only they wore white hair.
If anything, out of this game, again, one of the complaints I have, I do feel the game's pacing was too slow, and the game was kind of long. For a game like this, you would expect it, maybe it's 20 hours long. No,
every time he says the game is long, remember, he turned an 18-minute demo into over an hour.
I really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed playing it, but certainly by the time that I was getting to the end of it, it felt like, man, I wish this game would just end, and then eventually we did finish it. So the pacing leaves something to be desired.
Never forget.
But outside of that, I really did enjoy the game. I felt that it was a unique and different experience. I apologize. I couldn't
2077, dude.
I wanted to get something that showcased like some of the unique stuff in the game. Like, look, there's a paper desert, right? But it looks like it's just dialogue here in this video. So I guess I picked the shitty one. But anyway, it was good stuff. It was absolutely good stuff. I enjoyed the game.
You picked. So what? You didn't have these ready to go? Mister, I'm a professional. This is going to be my big Game of the Year edition. You didn't have these videos picked beforehand? So what did you do just right now? Go into your computer and go, alright, let me go to my channel. Oh, hey, all these are fucked up out of order. I'll click on this one. Ack. Way to be a professional.
Sadly, not a lot of people did because they said, oh, it's a JRPG. You're right. It was kind of a lengthy JRPG-style game with action-based combat, but I enjoyed it. And if you did look at Paper Mario Origami King, here's the thing. I don't have a frame of reference to compare this game to. I don't. I never played
the Thousand Year Door. You just said you played it.
So I think that I may have actually enjoyed this game more than others. I do. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than other people. Because a lot of people were criticizing the game during my playthrough and saying, oh, it's nowhere near as good as the previous Paper Mario games. Well, I didn't have that frame of reference.
Okay, so this is starting to annoy me that he looks so much like Hitler.
Playthrough, all people were like, you don't know, you don't understand because you didn't play the better games, so you don't know why we're disappointed in it, you see? So I get it, okay? I get it.
Let's see, what's
I
a
didn't
good picture?
understand, I didn't have that frame of reference, but for me to play this being my first Paper Mario game, I actually really enjoyed it, and I thought that it was worth mentioning. However, admittedly, compared to the other games that did make my top 10, this was not as good as those in my opinion. So it didn't make the top 10, but I wanted to give it an honorable mention. So there you go. Paper Mario and the Origami King. A good game on the Switch from 2020. You should give it a look if you haven't yet, and if you like that style of game. All right. I received a $1 tip from Canbar2. It says, big ups, Phil. Thank you, Canbar.
He's even got the hair.
On the leaderboard. And then we will continue.
Like when he looks straight at this, when he looks straight at the camera, it looks just like even the hair.
Very nice. Our first tip of the night. Thank you very much, Canbar. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Continuing on.
Yeah, he did. He just said he played a Thousand Year Door. He just said it like 5 minutes ago.
This countdown was going to be lengthy. The next honorable mention. The best games of 2020.
Not so far, Shaz.
Neo 2. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Neo 2, a game that most people forgot even came out in 2020. At one point, I actually forgot this game came out in 2020. I wasn't going to put this in the countdown, and then I started going back and looking through the playlist. I was like, crap, this actually came out in 20... Like, holy shit. Wow. All right?
Wow, you didn't remember with your Jin memory?
It's a Dark
Imagine
Souls
that.
style game. Yes. It's a game that's a sequel to a game that was from a few years ago, and it's very similar to the first game. Admittedly, I will admit all of those things, but Neo 2... had beautiful graphics. Neo 2 had incredibly responsive controls. Neo 2 actually improved upon the combat engine of the first game.
You're welcome,
in
Shaz.
a significant way. You could basically do this pattern of gameplay building up a stun meter against an enemy. When the enemy gets stunned, you could transform into a giant creature or spirit monster, do a large combo on said enemy, dealing tons of damage, then transforming back into your normal self to do special abilities to try to build up the stun meter again. If you played the game in this unique manner that was not really present in the original game, you could actually topple large bosses and actually really challenging things in the game with relative ease. If you mastered the combat engine, this game was fluid and beautiful. And I really liked that about
I want to pause
the
them
game.
at just the
You could play it
right
with
moment so you
consoles,
can really
or
see
you could
it.
try to play it via its own unique methods, and it had a lot of unique things about it. I definitely thought...
But he doesn't look at the
graphics were
camera.
this time.
God damn it. Look at the camera for like 5 seconds. Not always constantly rocking and moving around. Look at that. He even has the hair in it. Fuck it. This is funnier.
Time around, I thought that the graphics of Neo 1 were nice, but this time around they actually refined upon those and made it even better. Seriously, I had a lot of fun with this game. Very lengthy.
SpongeBob.
The playthrough was incredibly long. If I actually
A shitty camera, that's what.
2020, I think this ranked like second or third as the longest playthroughs that I did in 2020. The game had.
This is from Raw DSP. All the guy does is he uploads DSP immediately. And yes, this is coming from him.
Bosses and stuff that you could
These are his videos from his channel.
Of your gameplay experience, and actually was pretty fun and meaningful. So you might be saying, if Phil, you're like basically saying everything about this game is great. Like, what was so bad about the game that you didn't make it in your top 10 games? A few things. First of all, early game, much like Neo 1, early game is tough. Until you're able to play maybe 10, 15 hours of the game and you start really building up your class to be exactly how you want it to be.
What? Games known for being really hard are hard? No. What's next? Saying Dark Souls 2 is hard? What a hot take. That a game that is whole fucking point is to be hard is hard. Congratulations, DSP.
It's
like
rough.
that is scalding
You have
hot
some
take.
basic abilities and weapons that aren't really leveled and stuff. It's just hard to survive in the first 10 to 15 hours of the game. It's really frustrating. Once you get past that, you hit your stride, and now you enjoy the game a lot more. But for me, it should have been more well-paced and balanced. It shouldn't be, oh my god, it's like torture for the first 15 hours, and then things get good. It should be somewhat enjoyable at all times. I actually felt the beginning of the game was way less enjoyable than the rest of the game.
It wasn't enjoyable,
I didn't feel
dude.
there was enough innovation in the combat engine. Even
Jeff
though,
Dunham
as
test
you can
miss.
see here, one of the new
What?
weapons I used during the playthrough was the scythe, which I really enjoyed. I forget if it was actually called the scythe or the sickle, because it kind of looks like both. I think that's a scythe, though. But I really enjoyed that new weapon, and actually, it transforms. You can do combos where you're transforming that weapon into different things. That's really neat. Kind of like Bloodborne. And I actually enjoyed the transformation of the weapons during the combat, but...
Technically, his
outside of
fans.
maybe like one or two other new weapons.
It's actually just for him to
almost
kill
identical to
another
the first
stream.
game. And like I said,
If I do this for one stream, I don't have to play Divinity 2.
Was the spirit transformations where it did this kind of this pattern where you build up the stun, spirit transformation, deal a lot of damage, build up your meter, do a magic attack or whatever. Oh, build it up again, spirit transformation. It was kind of like this pattern that you would do in order to progress in the game and succeed. But that was it. Like, there really wasn't much else innovation. It really just felt like more, to me, the game felt like more like Neo 1.5 than Neo 2.
Wow, they took the things that worked in Neo 1 and improved upon it, guys. That's why I felt like 1.5 instead of 2. Like, all games do that. If a game is lucky enough to get a sequel, they look at what worked, what didn't, and then improve on what worked and get rid of the stuff that didn't work. Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1, it's a good game. Assassin's Creed 2, amazing. Uncharted 1, alright, it works. Uncharted 2, amazing game. Amazing how that works, how they're able to go, huh, this worked, and this worked, and this worked. Fans really loved this, but a lot of people said that this part was just bad. We're going to get rid of that in the new game. A lot of games do that. Last of Us 2 kind of did that, except they really fucked with the story, but other than the storyline, again, like the gameplay, you can shit on the story as much as you want in The Last of Us 2. Everything you heard about the gameplay, though, is it's great. Because they took what worked in the first one, what people liked in the first one, and improved upon it. Oh no, Neo 2, they took the stuff that worked in Neo 1 and improved upon it. Ooh, big deal.
Now, of course, there's a
They're
saying,
supposed to do
if it
that.
broke, don't fix it. Maybe if they
Exactly.
had completely gone off the rails here and did something completely different than the first game, maybe a lot of people would have complained and not enjoyed it as much. But for me, I probably would have enjoyed it if they did things a little bit differently. It just felt a lot like the same game with a few examples of maybe, like I said, a new weapon or two, and that was about it. So all that being said, Neo 2 had great graphics, great combat.
He'll never wage quit Divinity 2 because he'll never play it.
Similar to the first game for me to really make it my top 10 games of the year. But I still had a great time with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more honorable mention, and then we will get to the top 10.
Holy shit, we haven't gotten to the top 10 yet.
First,
Fuck.
we've got some shout-outs. So, first of all,
Shout out.
Local Nomad subscribed to the channel for 3 months in a row, 5 total. Thank you, Local Nomad, for the resub and the ongoing support. I appreciate that. Total Scorn resubscribed for 2 months. And when will I get the Xbox X and S? Seems like it's not as popular as PS5. You can't get it. It's still, even though it's not as popular, it still gets back ordered constantly, and the scalpers steal them once they're readily available later in the year, and once there's actually games to play.
Stop playing with your hair.
Get one.
Greasy monkey.
Shout out to Benzuko Lives, who tipped me $5, and that is the biggest tip of the night. So let's get Benzuko up there on the leaderboard and add that to the overall tally.
What? He stalled? No, I would never believe DSP would stall. Oh, wait, till he does.
Let's see here.
Who's giving me money
Death
now?
of a Vest Street Cheers. Can I do mixed bag games of 2020?
That's leaning Emmanuel Band.
No, I'm not doing mixed bag games of 2020. Stop derailing my countdown. Deadly Feet has done 100.
He didn't do anything. You derailed it.
Cheer. I appreciate that. That is the biggest cheer of the night. So let's get.
I love it. He does something. How dare you? But you're the one who did it.
Dudetron tipped me $1. It says, "Is this enough for the vest?" Indeed, it is not, but I still appreciate the $1 tip. So thank you for the $1 tip, Dudetron. Jiden did 100-bit cheers, and me and my boyfriend are big fans. And we enjoy your YouTube content for years. Can we get a shout out? Sure, shout out Jiden and your boyfriend. Thanks for the support. Welcome to the stream. Okay.
As long as you give me more money.
Another tip, but I'm not sure if it's legit or not. So what I'll do is while my PayPal loads and I can verify the tip, we will do the final honorable mention game. How does that sound? That way we don't hold up the countdown.
Tipquisition.
Right. Back to the countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, the final honorable mention game of 2020 is Immortals Phoenix Rising. I actually really like this game. This game came out.
Well, you can't arrest me. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
In December, the same week that Cyberpunk 2077 came out. And because of the timing of the release of this game, sadly, a lot of people didn't hear about it and never played it. I currently just started playing the game, and I really enjoy it. I think I've played it for like 2-3 weeks now, and I've only been playing it on and off. Just recently, I started doing it as main gameplay streams. This game is growing on me the more I play it. The game has complex combat with a lot of abilities that you can unlock that make the combat more interesting than just button mashing. The game has interesting traversal mechanics with the flight, the wings of Icarus that allow you to hover around. As you can see right from this video, very interesting puzzles and things that are very fun and allow you to earn upgrades. There's a variety of enemies in the game that get progressively harder the further you play in, and abilities that allow you to combat things better the further you get into the game. Oh, there's a flying enemy, really annoying in the beginning of the game to hit those. Well, you get an ability to zip line up and do air combos on them.
Nah, so I never got interested in this game.
Out of the sky and slam them to the ground. Really cool.
I have all the newer games that came out.
It's got puzzles similar to
Spider-Man, Miles,
I really like that because we haven't
Cyberpunk 2077, which will be my next playthrough once I beat Divinity. I'll be playing it on PC.
Good variety of puzzles. Some of them are simple slide puzzles like this. Some of them are puzzles where you have to figure out, I gotta put a block on a switch to open a door over here. And then you have
of course
to
he didn't finish, dude.
do a time challenge. Like
he's only been playing it for 2 months. It takes at least 5 months for him to beat a game.
Lightning challenge, get from here to there flying around in a certain amount of time to get upgrade things.
We all love that Fallen Zero. It's hilarious.
Funny. Unlike all these other games that recently have tried to be so serious and over dramatic, this game takes itself very unseriously. It just basically jokes around constantly. The writing is a bunch of funny stuff, silly stuff, and although there's some cheesy puns in there that are a little bit cringeworthy, outside of that, I feel that the game is very fun to play. The game also is very lengthy. For those who don't know, I've already played I believe it's around 20 to 30 hours, and I'm nowhere near the end of the game. I'm about halfway through.
Let's
So
see
it's
how long the
do all
beat
this stuff in the game,
says.
It takes a long time to do it. Much like other Ubisoft games, yes, it is chock full of open world exploration. You can argue maybe the game takes too long to beat because there's so much content, just like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, okay? But I'm actually
Phoenix Rising doesn't exist. What the
Here's
hell?
why I'm disappointed. I started playing this game like a
Here we
month
go.
later. I honestly wish I had played this game instead of Cyberpunk. Because I
23 and a half
played this game
hours.
and finished it in time to do my Game of the Year award.
He's been playing it for 30 hours, not even close to beating it, guys. It's 23 hours to beat, dude.
I'm just about halfway through it, and I don't feel comfortable ranking this among the best games of 2020 when I haven't seen the entire game. It's entirely feasible.
You're not wrong,
The
Vegators.
second half of the game gets too difficult or too repetitive or boring, and it's not a great game for the second half. And then if that's the case, I definitely wouldn't want to rank it among my best games of last year. But for what I've played so far, I'm impressed. I really like the game, and I'll recommend it to you guys. By the way, it's discounted everywhere because this game came out the same week as Cyberpunk. So few people bought it. They had to discount the game within a month to try to get anyone to buy it. So I got it for $40 digitally. Apparently, you can get it for as low as $20 to $25 physically online. Go for it. It's worth it, I'm telling you. Especially if you like a game with a lot of traversal, puzzles, combat. You're really going to like this game. And especially humor, tongue-in-cheek humor with a lot of silly writing and stuff. It's well done. It really is a well done game, and I'm sad that it didn't really get the attention that maybe it deserved.
No lawnmower sounds.
If this game had come out in the summer of 2020, probably would have been a bestseller, one of the best games of the year. But it came out with some
exactly ruthless
right after the console releases and during the release window of Cyberpunk. That was a bad look.
I mean, for 20 bucks, it might be worth it,
So,
but
ladies and gentlemen, finally
I'll be
we got
focusing on
through
Cyberpunk once I get
the real
Divinity
top
beat.
10 games of 2020. It only took a half an hour, but I knew it was going to take that long. Okay, now let's do some more shout outs because like I said, I was actually going to verify a tip here and didn't get a chance to.
Tipquisition down on the farm.
Alright, I received a tip from Duplicis who tipped me $20, and Duplicis says, I've been a fan since your Bioshock days. I mainly catch up with your content through YouTube. Says I can't catch the streams as much. Keep proving the haters wrong. Excuse me. And continue doing what you love for a living. Duplicis, thank you very much for the tip. Just so you know, your PayPal account does show as registered.
Whenever I think of March Band, I think of the OSU marching
I'm
band
going to give you the benefit of the
playing
doubt. You are a supporter.
their fight
I
song.
appreciate your tip. You're the biggest tipper of the night. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. I would ask if you are going to continue to contribute in the future, please.
Pretty sure that's going to be a Super Hound.
PayPal account, so I know that
Free ask.
your contributions are legit. Okay. And thank you.
To know if it's Super Hound or not, he usually does the. I've been a big fan since X playthrough.
Also,
like every time. Power Classic.
Death of a Streak says, "Gee, what time will you announce Bug Snacks as #1?" Well, if you can't be here for the stream to see it live, watch it on demand on YouTube.
It is amazing. Do it, Ruthless. Arizona made game on.
Thank you for the cheer. But yeah, if
how you doing?
Watch this live, of course you can watch it on demand on DSP Gaming on YouTube whenever you get a chance. Okay. OGX4.
But yes, Horizon Zero Dawn. Play it.
245-bit cheer, which is the biggest cheer of the night, and he says, "I want maximum positivity from everyone."
I didn't even have the game yet, but I saw the DLC was on sale for like $10. So I don't even own the game yet, but I've heard everything great about it. Buy the DLC, then I'll eventually buy the game. So yes, you will love Horizon Zero Dawn. It is an amazing game.
It's awards night, damn it. Damn straight. People should be happy that it's awards night and some fun stuff is going on here on the stream. It's not just raw gameplay for a damn change.
On Android? Like for your phone?
That.
Huh.
Alright. Are you guys ready to continue on with the countdown? I hope so. Okay, now we're going to get to the actual top 10 games of the year. Ready?
Remember, this is his top 10 gaming stream. We are 43 minutes and 1 second into the stream. He's just now getting around to the top 10 games.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, you're going to see some carryover between my most disappointing games and my best games of the year. Alright? My number 10 best game of 2020 is The Last of Us 2. Now,
a game you absolutely hated.
Very, very, very strong criticisms of this game. Alright? But, you know that my very strong criticisms of this game are primarily the story.
And yes, it is going back very far, Arizona.
But if you just took the story out of the game, and you actually look at everything else on a fair objective scale. All right.
Like I just said, the story is trash, but the gameplay, the graphics, like, oh, that is great. Just the story was terrible.
The characters that actually act like real life.
It's like you see Morgan Freeman in a movie, but the movie's bad. It's like, but I love Morgan Freeman. Or what was it? Keanu Reeves was in a movie I watched on Amazon Prime. Movie was absolute trash.
As you can see here,
I was like, oh, Keanu Reeves is in it? I love Keanu Reeves. I watch it.
Wait a minute. Who's that? That asshole above me. He's trying to just fuck her out of here. Anyway, the graphics of the game, gorgeous, especially because this is PS4, not PS5. For the PlayStation 4, looks absolutely breathtaking, some of the graphics in this game. The level design, very well done. I really enjoyed all the different world design. And
like, I really want to play the game just for...
Particularly when you finally get to Seattle, and you're actually...
If you ignore the storyline, it sounds like a great game.
Such as going through a video arcade that actually really exists in Seattle because I've been there. Or going down to the waterfront, and there's the
of course you've been to the arcade
that are really in Seattle. Those things are all very neat. Yeah, and then of course I'll also say this: even though I hated the story of the game, you want to know what I really liked about the game? Segments like we're looking at right now, because a segment like this didn't have to be in the game. And what this is a throwback to the relationship of Ellie and Joel, the thing that made the first game good. And actually getting...
No, it was like the Neon Demon, I think it was called.
That was kind of torn away from you because of the plot of the game that I didn't like. I enjoyed the moments where they still got to spend time together. And there's 3 major segments.
I say he did nothing but shit on the game.
You get these interesting flashbacks, and I really appreciated those. Because it actually made me feel like there was a ray of hope or a moment of fun and goodness and just... It felt like you were playing the first game again. And that's what I liked most about the game when it came to story, is that you had those connections between Joel and Ellie that were...
You're not wrong, Greatest Shamer.
...taken away from you for most of the plot of the second game. I also have to say, ladies and gentlemen, this game has to be given so many kudos for being the most accessible AAA game ever made in history. All right? There is not another AAA video game on planet Earth that had the amount...
He'd shit himself, but wait a minute. This computer can't handle it. It's a lemon, guys. Spent $3,000 on a lemon.
The options for the hearing impaired. If you were blind, this game has a full-blown sonar mode that allows you to hear objects in the game, and people...
Oh yeah, Last of Us 2 looks great. Plays great. It's just
played this game
terrible story.
On the hardest difficulty and beat it, and he can't see anything. That's crazy to me. That's just like, wow. They actually went the extra mile. They cared about every single person who wanted to play their game and wanted to make sure that it was accessible to everybody. They did an outstanding job in that regard. And if anything in this game stands out, that should be the thing that's most applauded. And I feel that this being the best in class, most accessible game of all time for AAA games, this
maybe an onion. I mean, come on.
Should be.
It's only $1 for an onion, right?
Poster child for what should be done with AAA games in the future if they actually care about appealing to a wide audience. All AAA games with ginormous budgets should have accessibility features. It's just that simple. And if they don't have it, that's fucking lazy. This game showed how to do it right, and everyone else should be taking...
Closest thing I can think about accessibility is colorblindness. Remember the streamer, he was playing Call of Duty, and it's like, cut the green wire. I don't know what green is! It's like, that's a very good point. Or first Bioshock game, the hacking system. If you have normal eyesight, works great. If you're colorblind, it doesn't really work because you can't see green or red and all that. It's like, so they changed it in Bioshock 2. Because they went, hey, colorblind people can't do the hacking. We should change that. That's going to be the number one thing I think of for accessibility, is worrying about colorblind people, because... Again, just seeing that video of the guy, he's got to defuse the bomb. Cut the green wire. I don't know what green is.
Taking this as the example.
Guy was hilarious.
Worked on this game as consultants on future games. There's just no excuse anymore to have games that aren't accessible. Okay?
Yeah, but Super Blind Man's a real gamer, not DSP.
This game has a lot to praise. Again, the graphics, the gameplay improvements, the world design. Oh, I didn't even mention the voice acting. Of course. They got an all-star cast of voice actors who did an insane job. I know that they did the mocap, right? The mocap is top-notch. If you like the story of this game, it's probably your favorite game of the year. And I
say Last of Us 1 was amazing. Loved that game.
Not me. For me, sadly, the story was so poorly written, poorly paced, and just such a primitive, underdeveloped story a story that went against everything we learned about these characters from the first game and flipped it on its head so that it could have a narrative pushed down your throat. I didn't like the game overall, but I can tell you, I can understand why someone did, and I'm not going to hate on someone for liking the game. I'm also not going to.
He says, "Is he shit on everyone on the internet with Twitter and all that? How much the game was bad? If you like it, you trash person."
Still one of the best games of 2020. You can't.
If you like this game, you're a trash human being. But I didn't shit on anyone. I swear.
Except, I didn't like the story. That still doesn't mean you negate all the other.
I can't wait to get a PS5 because Ghost of Tsushima probably one of the first games I play on it.
Overall, I think it was well developed, well done. By the way, in a year when we had game after game come out completely unfinished, unpolished, and buggy as fuck, this game was supremely polished and didn't have those kind of issues at all. You could tell the attention to detail, the care, the development was put into it. Okay, I don't like Neil Druckmann, but he did a lot of things right on this game, and it should be respected. And I
hey, Bigsy.
Number 10 game,
I was point out that his hair and his mustache make him look like a Hitler.
Still one of the best games of 2020. Alrighty then. Just being fair and just being honest. I can't lie. The game's good. Okay? Alright. Continuing on here.
Never at this point.
Thanks for the
he claims he's going to play in February, but he never play it.
With your nonsense here. We're going to continue on with the countdown. Okay? Alright.
Not only will he not play Divinity 2, if he ever actually does play it, he's already said it's going to be the late stream. I have already put 70 hours in it. I just got to the third area. If he plays it 2 hours a night, one night a week, he'll be playing this game until 2024. Like, dude, play the damn game.
The number 9 pick for the best game of 2020 is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Alright? I didn't love this game as much as other people. I even went as far to say during my playthrough of this game, I actually liked the original Final Fantasy VII better. Because I actually felt the original Final Fantasy VII was a more robust game, because it had more locations, more to the story, and I actually felt I liked the actual combat of Final Fantasy VII, the original, better.
Wow, you mean a game that was a full game on 3 discs or 4 discs had more content than a game that's literally... It's Final Fantasy VII Remake, like Part 1. Gee, how could a full game have more content in it than Part 1? I wonder why, DSP. Are you shitting me? God damn, this guy's got some terrible takes in life. And video games. But seriously, dude, like, are you kidding me? Well, I liked Final Fantasy VII, the original, better because it had more content. Because it was a full game!
Than the more action-based combat engine that they put into the remake. They really wanted to cater to the more modern audience. They didn't want it to have older style gameplay. I guess they felt if it was turn-based, people would be turned off to it. I think it would have been fine, but it is what it is. That's just my personal take. Someone who grew up playing turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, that's another thing. Bugsnax is higher than Final Fantasy VII.
Take a look at this game.
Bullshit.
It's gorgeous, man. They took a lot of time developing this game. It's absolutely drop-dead gorgeous, taking those environments from the original PlayStation 1 game and turning it into a true next-gen experience. Voice acting's outstanding. The music, oh my god, taking those songs from the original Final Fantasy VII and remixing them to be these awesome masterpieces of the modern age. Like, the music is outstanding.
They were already masterpieces. Fuck you.
Is that they take a lot of characters who were completely underdeveloped in the original Final Fantasy VII, and they
Jesse.
finally fleshed them out. They made them feel, instead of like very, very 2D paper characters that really don't stand up to the kind of test of realism, the characters now actually have motivations, they have personalities, they make sense. It's not just a character that's wedged in there. For example, Barrett is way better in this game. He is. He's just a way better character. He gets
Biggs
all
and
cool
Wedge.
things, side missions and things, and that he get to flesh out his character a little bit more. While in the original, I didn't feel he was a very good character at all. I felt he was very
because he was black.
So, I definitely like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, is it one of my favorite games of the year compared to a lot of the other games? No, I think that it was a good game, but I do think that sadly, two things held it back. The first is, yeah, I do feel that because the game only deals with the early part of the storyline of Final Fantasy VII, that it doesn't feel like a complete experience. It actually
so you know it's only disc 1.
The game ends on an insane cliffhanger, where you're like, what just happened? Because the game is not what they sold it as. Again, I have to say the same things I said in my most disappointing countdown. It's not a remake. They didn't just take the plot of the first game and remake it with modern graphics and gameplay. They changed the plot. They changed so many things about it. The ending isn't even an ending. It's just, oh, cliffhanger. Hoping we make another one, guys. Hope this game does well so we make another one.
My next Divinity 2 stream.
And that's kind of lame. What? Really? Yeah.
What time is
and
it
that's
now?
kind of silly. I feel that they should have, if they were going to make a remake,
probably not today. It might be tomorrow.
If they remade the real game, then you know, maybe we would have a better, more robust story. Instead, it feels like you're
Won't be
playing
Thursday because I got a
3
tabletop game to
3
play.
hours in a part that could be beaten 8 hours. It just feels like you're in Midgar.
Yeah, so it's not even the full disc one.
And that you should be moving on to bigger and better things, which, by the way, if you play the real game, you do. And in this game, you never get to. So, I definitely, I enjoyed the game. Again, I can't deny a game like this. Look how good it looks. It plays well. I like the fleshing out of the characters, the side mission, but at the same time, it just felt underwhelming to me. Like, I felt like it should have been better, or it could have been better, if they weren't stuck in Midgar the whole fucking game, and if they didn't go somewhere completely different with the plot of the game than the original. Okay? Alrighty then. That's why it's number 9, by the way. If I had loved the game, it would have been probably top 5, but it's number 9. Best game of the year. Ninstar Rune Cheers says, are you sure this is your top 10 best list and not your mixed bag list? You understand that you can have a game that's a mixed bag.
It's not a mixed bag list,
the positive
dude.
side is more than the negative, and therefore it's a good game. You understand that, right? A mixed bag doesn't mean a 50-50 mix. Again, why do people think things are so fucking simple and black and white? It's not. The world is not black and white. It's not. Okay.
Now give me money, assholes.
My number 8 best game of 2020 is...
She's sick with the coof.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Yeah, apparently Kat... I had to check on her before stream, guys. Why would you have to check on her? She's got the coof. But how come he hasn't caught the coof? Because they're roommates. They're not married. They don't sleep in the same bed. They don't eat together. That's why he's constantly ordering food. Think about it. He went from, oh yeah, sometimes I'll order food, to, yeah, yesterday I had IHOP because I hadn't had it in a while. Then today I had Denny's. Then tomorrow I'm going to have, like, you're ordering food every single day. But you're supposed to live with your wife who loves to cook according to you. So why are you constantly ordering food every single day? Because they don't spend any time together. She's just a roommate.
Yes. It
Oh,
actually
my mouse.
ranked in
I
my
can't
top
see my
8 of
mouse.
the year. I'm shocked as much as you that I like this game so much. Because I have not played a competitive first-person shooter at any length for like 5+ years. I think the last one that I actually liked a ton was like Battlefield 4. And before then, maybe like an older Black Ops game, right? Like, it's been a long time since I actually played a Call of Duty game that I wanted to continue.
I shot him twice in the legs. He shot me once in the head and I died, man. It's bullshit.
Is that game.
But I shot him in the legs twice.
I don't, you know, it's probably because a few things. Number one, they finally got rid of the operator bullshit. I don't like having a specialty class of character that has some special magic ability. Oh, I have a magic wall that I pull out of my ass. I put it down, and now it's this radiation bullshit that shouldn't be in a first-person shooter. Now you can't get through this doorway. Like, what is this? Oh, I just pull out a fucking grenade launcher and just kill everyone in the room just because I have. What is this bullshit, right? Like, I always hated that about what they did with Black Ops 3 and 4, and they took that out of the game. In addition, no wall running, no double jumping, all the bullshit that made it not feel like a military shooter was removed from the game. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still fucking bullshit. There's still quick scoping, and there's still issues with snipers having advantageous position and getting shots off they should not get. Oh, yeah. I saw a sniper. I shot him in the face 10 times. On the 11th shot that would have killed him, he gets a sniper shot off that kills me instantly.
Because he shot you in the head.
10 bullets, you get a perfect sniper shot off, right? It's like, there's stuff like that.
You shoot someone in the head, they tend to die real quick, just saying.
Taken Call of Duty, and they took it.
And he still hasn't figured out recoil.
Like I was.
Fucking hilarious. Like, how do you not understand what recoil is after all this time?
Yes, they were a little bit arcadey, but they were
Like,
meant to
what the hell is wrong with you? How do you not know what recoil
Then when they
is?
went to Modern Warfare, they added in modern weaponry, modern guns, UAVs, and all of that, and it became way and way more complex, okay? But, at least at that point, it was kind of realistic, all right? If these things really existed, a lot of things in that game did really exist at the time, it was kind of
You don't know
realistic,
shit
all
about shit.
When they started
He needs to
getting
give
into
up on
the
that.
Black Ops, and oh my god, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare. It just got so ridiculous with the shit they put in it, and you could tell what they were doing is they were trying to cater more to kids. What they wanted to do is they wanted content creators or viral first-person shooter players to stream this game and get kids to watch it, and now kids run out and buy the game. That's what they went for, all right? I feel with this one,
And it worked.
that shit was scaled way back. Not all the way back. I wish it was scaled all the way back. But they took out all the fucking cartoony bullshit nonsense. It really feels more like a straightforward first-person military shooter again. For the first time in a long time, okay? I'm happy about that. I'm able to play this game at length and have fun with it, all right? And in truth, even though I do believe there's bullshit with the quick scoping and all that, and I rage at it.
And you don't understand why your hip fire isn't as accurate as someone aiming at you and shooting you in the face. I hip fired right into his chest. While he's wearing body armor. He aimed down the barrel and shot me in the head. How come I died, guys? Doesn't make any sense.
That's pretty much exactly the same as last year's, but it's still in there. Or if you're playing the zombies mode, which I hear is great. I haven't even played the zombies mode, so I can't even attest to the fact if it's good or not. But I can tell you, if you're looking for
Zombie mode is the best mode. How do you not play it right off the
I
bat?
didn't spend any extra money on the game, and I got a bunch of new maps already for free within a couple months of the release of the game, which is really sweet.
Zombie mode is best mode. Why do you not play that right off the bat, asshole?
I will say is bullshit. And if you want me to be very honest with you, the one reason this game is actually not higher on my best games of 2020 countdown, it's because the skill-based matchmaking screws up the game. All right? When Treyarch made this game, they said we were going to have skill-based matchmaking in it. And on paper, it sounds good. Play a few matches, the game will see how you do, and based on how you do, it'll then put you into a lobby where you're supposed to be playing people of your equivalent skill. All right? Instead of just playing noobs all day, you get to actually play with people who are pretty decent. Makes it a more challenging experience. Makes sense, right? But here's the problem. That's not actually what happens. What happens is you play 2 matches, you dominate, you kick ass. Oh my god, look at the score streak, I got chopper gunner. Then they throw you into a lobby. Sure, the people are ranked higher, but the people all have bad connections to you. Because the game doesn't have a centralized server. It's still peer-to-peer bullshit. So when you go to play against these other people that it forces you to play with, because, oh, skill-based matchmaking, the connection dramatically...
Really? If you play anyone who's good in the game, it's because they have bad connection, guys. What? If you do well, they immediately put you into a server where everyone has bad connection. But what if there's 10 people like you who have the business class internet that is so amazing? Well, then what do they go? Well, I guess we can't put them in any lab because there's no one with bad connection, guys. It makes no sense. This persecution complex of it is amazingly stupid.
Declines. And now you'll have people, you're shooting them 100 times, they won't go down, your bullets are completely ineffective, grenades explode and no one takes any damage, the game becomes a joke. And then you just rage and you lose, and then after you lose 2 matches like that, the skill-based matchmaking kicks you back.
I did play Apex Legends and I didn't do very well.
So it's pinballing back.
I'm not good at first-person shooters like that.
Good connection, bad connection. And you can't consistently play this game at length without getting pissed off because the connections keep sinking into the fucking toilet. That's a major flaw, all right? That's a major flaw. They should not have it doing that, all right? They should have it so that you have a consistent...
I said he called them...
Okay, you want skill-based matchmaking? That's
he had an internet issue, and it turns out there was something unplugged.
Not just one or the other.
That's right. He called Comcast, had Comcast send someone out to his condo to fix his internet. It turns out something was unplugged. That was it.
But the fact that the skill-based match...
I don't know about you, like, it's not working. I should make sure everything's plugged in. First thing you do is make sure everything is plugged in. Not DSP.
If... I don't know how you get higher than top 5. If it had better matchmaking and better online connections, but they're just not consistent enough, and I have to be honest. Okay? Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's number 8. Deadly Feet, now that 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Deadly Feet, for the cheer. I appreciate that. Okay.
But I want tips, not cheers, asshole.
Excuse me. Disgusting. And thank you, Death of a Vestry, for the cheer. I'm not going to read it. All right. Continuing on. My number 7 best game of 2020 is Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. I think a lot of people slept on this game. Maybe it's because people are just tired of platformers. But for someone who recently, in the past 5+ years, played all of the Crash Bandicoot games, all right, and someone who appreciates the
and Donkey Kong Country,
then taking a modern spin
and hated it.
This game is the best of all worlds. It has the ability to just go through the game and beat it on a casual level. And if you just do that, if you're just going through the game and trying to beat it at a base level, it really doesn't even get challenging.
He died over 1,000 times in this game.
Yes, the end of the game is incredibly challenging, but it's the very end of the game, that's when it should get challenging, okay? But if
he died over 1,000 times in this game.
You should go back and try to get every single fruit, unlock every single gem challenge and all of that, okay? This game is difficult. This game is incredibly challenging. It's got innovative puzzles. It's got innovative combat and platforming. It's got so many new mechanics in this game that were never present in previous Crash Bandicoot games, but feel like they very much fit into the Crash Bandicoot universe. I should call this out. Take a look.
He actually died over 1,100 times.
Right? Take a look at how beautiful these graphics look. Take him Crash into the modern era. He looks sweet.
Over 1,100 deaths in this game.
It's not just Crash. They actually add a bunch of significant new characters to the mix that are pretty interesting. Although, admittedly, I do feel like the characters may be underutilized. Most of the side characters that you pick, they usually have 1 or 2 stages dedicated just to them, and that's about it. But some of those characters can be very challenging to beat those specific stages that they do have. So I like that they were in there. It was just added content. The game is full of content. If you're looking for, a full-on challenge of doing all the content in the game. This game is.
Didn't you just bitch about Assassin's Creed Valhalla having too much content?
Did the side character missions? You didn't have to do them, but I did them all. And yeah, at first I was trying to go for a little bit of a completionist run, but when I realized this game was way more difficult to do a completionist run than some of the other Crashes I had played, I personally decided I wasn't going to go for that. It was going to be way too time-consuming, and I just basically.
It was going to be too hard, guys.
Even then, the game kicked my butt at the end. All right, but for someone who's a fan of the original games, I think you're really going to like Crash.
Earthworm Jim.
If anything, I think they said the game did not sell very well. I think the reason being is a few things. Number one, people are not looking really for this style of game in 2020 anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this is a game that, yeah, has a nostalgia factor to it. And when they released the Crash Bandicoot collection, people who were fans of the original Crash jumped on that collection because that was nostalgia. But I think now, people have kind of had that nostalgia kick, and now they're kind of moving on a little bit. And in addition, we all knew that in 2020 we were getting new consoles and everything. So this was kind of like a game that's like, man, I'm saving up for the new console, or, you know, I'm going to drop money on so many games the next month when PS5 or Xbox Series X comes out. Do I really
yes, it is, and he's a man-child, so it's perfect for him.
Attitude, and because of that, the game didn't actually sell that well. I thought it was outstanding. Look at this. The graphics are great. Look at these gameplay mechanics that are unique and different from old school Crash, you know? I just really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys enjoyed my playthrough of it, and the fact that I did try to go in there and give it as much of an honest go as I could. I knew I wasn't going to do a completionist run of it. I wasn't good enough at these kind of games to do that. But I really...
Oh, he finally admitted he's not good enough. Imagine that.
My top 10 games of the year by far. Like, I liked it that much. I was shocked to hear that not as many people liked it as much as me. I thought that it was just an outstanding game. Maybe I just like the old school platformer style of game. I don't know, but I dug it. Okay? All right. All right, everybody. Whew. All right. So now we're heading in. We're almost in the top 5, but not yet. We're getting there, though. We're now almost at an hour, and we're not even close to the end. My best games of 2020 countdown. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Okay, guys? All right. We're going to continue on now.
We're an hour and 4 minutes.
Dana Pop, cheers. Are you going to play the Astros Playroom update? 15 to 20 minute quick gameplay if you get a chance. Really fun bonus they added in. I didn't even... This is the first time hearing of it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Continuing on with the best games countdown. Ladies and gentlemen. Number 6. I don't think anyone expected to see this on my countdown. I don't think... I'm wearing the same shirt, by the way. Oh, no, I'm not. That's my Fallout shirt. It looks similar to this one. I don't think anyone expected to see this one on my countdown. All right?
Another game you hated?
I genuinely enjoyed this game so much that I wanted to put it in my top 10 games of the year. And then I started actually rating it against other games. I was like, wait a minute. I actually liked it more than all these other playthroughs. I did. Okay? When I started playing the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake or remaster...
Tony Hawk!
I was getting my ass handed to me. I sucked ass at it. I had only rented Tony Hawk 1 or 2. I couldn't even tell you which one it was. Way back in the day on PlayStation 1. I sucked ass at it. I was no good at Tony Hawk. I didn't know what I was doing. On the fly, had to learn everything about Tony Hawk 1 and 2. And the more I played the collection, I started to understand...
That's the same for every game.
Why this game was such a cult classic back in the day. The fact that the game has these unique...
Wow, I've never played this game before. I need to learn it on the fly. Like, yeah, that's every game, jackwagon.
The fact that the game has a simple way to play it, but when you actually learn the nuances of the game, right? How to use the alternations of things when you're going up and down the ramps to maintain your combos, maintain your momentum. How it's not just about that. It's about speed, it's about control, it's about combo ability, it's about maneuverability. The fact that in each stage there's so many things to do. It's not just about, oh, get a bunch of points. Get all these collectibles, find a secret area, get this awesome jump, do this, do that. And it just adds to the replayability of the game, okay?
Well, so you're going to replay it? No, I'm not going to replay it, assholes.
For like the first
Don't ask me that.
time that I was playing this playthrough, I was terrible at it. But because I stuck with it, all right, by the end of the playthrough, I was able to beat every stage, including the hidden stage at the end of the game, and I was getting incredibly high scores. I got the trophies for beating the high score challenges and stuff because I stuck with it, okay? So that's the thing, and not the thing, if anything, that's one of the things about Tony Hawk that stands out. If you dedicate yourself to trying to learning it, it's all kind of explanatory. You can figure out exactly what you need to do to succeed at Tony Hawk. And they did a great job with this collection. Look at the graphics. This is a PS1 game running on PS4, and they updated it to look pretty damn modern. It doesn't look like a crappy HD remix upgrade. It actually looks like an original game, you know? Did they add any content or much content to it? Not to my knowledge, but at the same time, they included 2 games for the price of 1 in this collection. In fact, wasn't the collection even cheaper than the price of a new game? I don't think it was $60. I think it was like 50 or something like that, right? And it had all the stages from both the first and the second game, which was outstanding.
And the music, the part that people cared about, the music.
In my opinion, it was just really well done. And I want to give credit where credit is due because I actually really enjoyed experiencing a game franchise that a lot of people over the years told me about and said, Phil, I can't believe you missed out on Tony Hawk. You know, you're a content creator. We watched it for 10 years and you never played Tony Hawk. I'm like, no. And then I finally got to play it. I was like, dude, this is so fucking good.
I'm not here to get shit-faced, man. I'm here to laugh.
The worst part about this being in this situation, guys, the makers of this game is called Vicarious Visions. I'm really angry. Of course, they're owned by Activision Blizzard now. And they decided to tell everyone at Vicarious Visions, you no longer are going to work on games anymore, original games. You're just basically going to work on our own existing projects. So it's very possible people who worked on this collection and worked hard and made an outstanding collection went ahead and now are doing a level design for fucking World of Warcraft, or they're tweaking some background piece of shit in fucking Overwatch. And these people are not going to, you know, be putting out meaningful games anymore. They're just going to basically be like...
They're going to be meaningful, guys. They're going to get paid, though, aren't they?
Projects that Activision works on. And that's not fair, in my opinion. They did a really good job with this collection. This is outstanding what they did, bringing these PS1 games to a modern audience. Again, someone like me who had never really played these games on PS1, I was exposed to the game so much that I basically went through and got everything in every stage and loved it, and I made it one of my favorite games of my year because of that, because I understood how good it was. I don't know why the hell Activision did what they did, because that was a dickhead fucking move. And I'm really angry that Activision will not.
I'm so angry, guys.
Gotta finish up the work of other dev teams. That's bullshit in my opinion. But anyway, if you've never played Tony Hawk before, don't feel afraid.
And just like trying to watch his gameplay behind me, and he's just crashing all the time.
There's no point. They're not.
Like, how do you wreck that? You're on a flat surface and you wrecked. How?
Even not knowing anything about Tony Hawk, I went on to kind of do really well in it. You can too, and I think you'll have a blast with it. It's a really well done game. Okay. All right.
The dude's on a flat surface and he wrecks.
We're gonna hit the top 5. Before we do,
gonna take a water break.
Numero uno, cheers. This is like the previews of the movies waiting for Bug Snacks at 1. Someone really wants Bug Snacks to be number 1 on my Game of the Year list. I guess we'll see what happens. We're getting into the top 5 now, everybody. Okay. Kula116 has resubscribed to the channel for 2 months in a row, 29 total. Thank you for the long-standing support, Kula. I really appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the top 5 games of the year. Are you ready? My number 5 best game of 2020 is Demon's Souls for the PlayStation 5. Yes.
A game you hated.
This game was really well done. These guys, what are they, Blue Point Games? They took a game that looked like liquid shit on the PlayStation 3. That game, even when it was new, didn't look good. All right, I'm being honest here. It looked rough. It played unique, and that's really where it got its big, push for being a great game. But when you compare it to other great games on PS3, Demon's Souls did not look good. Okay, but because of its unique gameplay elements, this game
it was awesome on the PS3.
A new series of games in Dark Souls, and of course, From Software went on to do other games like Bloodborne and Sekiro. And when it was announced this was going to be a launch title for PS5. I'm skeptical, but then I saw the graphics. I was like, ooh, wow. And now that you see how the game actually looks, they did a great job, man. And the thing is, they retained the feel of the original game, which is a nice thing. But they added these little touches that made it feel like a new release. The little flourishes and animation and the attacks that you do now are unique. The fact that they added 8-way roll, which absolutely that was a modern thing to do.
I don't need to think about DSP getting a Cleveland steamer.
Having it feel like a more modern game. It was just really well done. And again, if you like Demon's Souls, if you like Dark Souls,
it was remastered, not remade.
I'm gonna say this is probably one of the best games for PS5 right now. And I kind of agree there. At the same time, the reason that this basically isn't higher on my list is because they did not go the extra mile to fix the glaring issues that were part of Demon's Souls. Notably, the online connectivity is absolutely terrible still. They did not improve it at all. Now listen, I'm not stupid. I know why they did that. Because they wanted to cater to the fanboys. The people who play this fucking game day in, day out. They stream this From Software games nonstop. All they...
Yes. The reason you got your ass kicked in the old monk boss fight is because Demon's Souls creators went, how do we fuck with Phil? We'll make the connections laggy. No. I actually covered this when he was doing the old monk fight. The guy who was fighting would taunt him. Would stun him, and then taunt him. And there's nothing DSP could do about it because DSP is an idiot. I was like, I'm trying to rush him. Why am I not rushing forward? But you can see his character moving side to side or even backwards. Like, you're not rushing him. The reasons why you can't get close to him while he's healing, because you won't get close. You're too busy trying to dodge. While the guy's healing. The guy is healing and DSP's moving side to side or backwards, ready to dodge. Fucking moron. I mean, the one guy, he took all of his armor off. He took his armor and his weapons off and just beat the shit out of Phil with his bare hands. But yeah, it's not DSP's fault. No, it's never his fault. He did everything right. He did everything correct.
They do speed runs, they do challenge runs, they do every, they all, if I gotta do the fucking naked fists run or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I understand why they kept it identical to the original. For me, I wanted more. I wanted them to go the extra mile and improve upon it in a better way than just 8-way roll.
Too much coke this morning, huh, Jefferson?
Connectivity and all of that too. However, they just didn't. So, I wish they had improved it. They didn't. Because of that, it's number 5 on my list. It probably would have been top 3 if they had fixed the online play. I'm saying, like, if the online play had been refined and you had a great online experience with this game.
Old monk!
Because of that, I gotta be honest, all right? But, undoubtedly, I love playing it. You guys know I like From Software games. I love playing it, even though it's really difficult. We all know Demon's Souls is probably, arguably, the most difficult From Software game ever made. I still enjoyed replaying it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the playthrough. Demon's Souls, outstanding launch title for PS5. Just incredibly well done.
Yeah, it's DSP's definition of improvement is give me a super easy mode.
Into the top 4. What made the top 4? I know you guys are all speculating on what it could be. What are my top 4 games of the year? All right, and I know you guys are gonna have a tough time figuring this out. I am too. I did. When I had to do that, it's hard to go through all these games, figure out what are the best games of the year. All right? Are you guys ready for the number 4 best game of 2020? I don't know if you are. I honestly don't know if you're ready for this one. I don't think so.
It's going to be Bugsnax, I'm guessing.
Here we go. The Dark Pictures Anthology, Little
Hope.
Fuck. Yes.
Walking
this
Simulator.
Game is my number 4 favorite game of 2020.
Of course, it's a walking simulator.
Predict this one, but ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about me, you know why this is so high on my list. I am a fan of horror movies.
Here's the thing with skipping games. I skip a lot of games. You know why? Because I work a full-time job, and I have friends, and I have shit to do. A lot of people watching this feel the same way. It's like, man, I'd love to have the time to play all 20 games that came out this month. I just don't have the time, so I'm going to choose that one and that one. DSP doesn't have that issue. He has no job. He has no friends. He has literally nothing to do with his life but sit there and play video games. And he'll still skip a bunch but guys, I'm in the middle of 3 different playthroughs. That game's only 6 hours long. How have you been playing it for 4 weeks? I've been playing it for like 20 hours now. I still haven't beaten it. It's a 6-hour game. How does it take you 20 hours to do it? Alright, you're DSP. You spend more time in menus and checking your phone than you do playing the game.
So watch like every horror movie I could get my hands on when I was younger. I love playing survival horror games, and we're just at a drought at this point of good ones, okay?
Yeah, Walking Simulator over Final Fantasy VII, huh?
Horror games out there. You know, you look at like Rebirth and all of that. Nah. But you look at this game, and this game is like synonymous with an interactive horror movie, all right? Great writing, unique and interesting characters, dialogue options that you can affect and change depending on what you pick, right? I loved that about it. The atmosphere was spooky as hell. You had an ongoing mystery. You couldn't figure out what was going on. I had no clue what was going on in this game until the very end. You got the whole time manipulation mechanic where you're seeing people from the past as Puritan characters from the past, yet you're somehow talking with them and things you say to them interacts with their own plot. It's really unique. Look at the graphics. Very photorealistic. They did a great job with the mocap. The characters all feel believable.
The game looks
and they don't
great.
seem obnoxious. I hate to say
but...
it, usually choose your own adventure games. A lot of the times you get characters that are just unrealistic and obnoxious as shit. And in this game,
I actually like these kind of games. Like Until Dawn, great game. The Wolf Among Us. Like a lot of games like this, like I kind of like the choose your own adventure. I like the Detroit Become Human, but I'm not putting it on a top 10 list unless I only played 10 games that year. That's not like I'm going to play Divinity 2 Original Sin, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Dark Souls 3. Be like, and number 1 is Until Dawn. Like, I enjoyed Until Dawn. I got platinum in it. Not only was it a fun game to play for me, but like the first time I played, had my roommate and his girlfriend make choices. Then the second time, I made my choices. Third time, I had my lady friend at the time make the choices. Fourth time, I had a friend of mine make the choices. Like, I played through multiple times having other people make the choices. And it was a fun time. But again, I'm not going to put it over Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I'm not putting it over Divinity 2 Original Sin. I'm not putting it over maybe Astral Chain, because Astral Chain has some issues for me. Actually, I would put over Astral Chain, because the chain part, amazing. The Astral part, it was a little overdone. It's like, oh, wow, you're going to have to solve these mysteries for about 5 minutes, and then the next hour, you're stuck in the Astral world. Fuck. Yeah, but I'm still not going to put it over... I'm definitely not putting it over Prey, or Divinity 2, or Code Vein. Sheesh.
I would say the characters were actually more realistic than other games that I played like this, okay? The game itself lends itself to multiple playthroughs, even though it's relatively short. You can beat it in about 5 hours. You can go back and replay the game multiple times. You can try to get all the characters to survive. You can look for all
This is number 4 on his list.
Say and do different things, which is neat. I really had a blast with this game, and again, I'm the kind of guy, I like this kind of game. Here's why. Stream-wise, this is right up my alley. I can put my own spin on things. I can speculate about what's going on in a mystery game like this, and I can let you know my own hypothesis of what's going on in the horror plot, right? When there's scares and quick time events, it's funny and fun to see if I'm going to succeed or be a suspenseful part of the game, or I'm going to screw up and get someone killed. I really like this kind of game, and this is like, for me, out of all the horror games...
The demo looks awesome. It's 18 minutes long.
Writing,
took DSP over an hour.
Mocap, the best everything. Like, everything about it was great. And I know a lot of people did not like this game, and that's okay if you don't. Maybe you don't like the style of the game. Maybe you just didn't like particularly the plot of the game. Well, if you have the right to like the plot of The Last of Us 2, well, I have the right to like fucking Little Hope and say it's one of my favorite games of the year, all right? I just like it that damn much. And I hope that you guys, if you haven't checked out the playthrough yet, if you didn't, give it a look because so many people hated on it. Or maybe you just weren't thinking that it was going to be a great playthrough. I'm telling you, it was one of the best things I did and played in 2020. I did 2 runs of it. The first run, it was just cold, didn't know what was going to happen. The second run, I went in there knowing what happened the first time and actively tried to make the best decision to keep everyone alive. I really like this game. If you like my playthroughs of Until Dawn, you know, or Heavy Rain, or Fahrenheit from way back in the day, or what was the last one that they made? Man of Medan. You're gonna love this. I actually feel out of all those playthroughs, I honestly feel this is my favorite playthrough of all of them. That's how much I like this game, and that's why it's ranked number 4.
Yes, he picked us over Final Fantasy VII and Demon Souls.
I'm one of the few people on Earth that said that was one of their favorite games of 2020, but I'm just being honest with you guys. It was that good. Okay. Insomniatic Meat has hit me $5. So I love your best series every year, Phil. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Insomniatic Meat, for the tip. I appreciate that. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you, up to $32 tip so far. All right. Also, New Star Richard again. So why do you say Little Hope is long? Because it has replay value, but Hitman 3, which is built on that, is too short. Because just doing the one run through Little Hope, the pacing feels good. Like, I feel that if Little Hope were longer, much like a horror movie that's way too long, it would have felt like it overstayed its welcome. And then you were like, okay, let's go back. Now I know what happened. Let's go back and try to save everyone. In Hitman, it's like, you just want more stages. It doesn't even feel like you did enough in the game for it to be called a game. I'll be honest, I just don't. I feel like there should have been more substance to Hitman 3. But that's my personal opinion and my personal feeling, okay? Mark, oh my god, how do I say this? Mark the Solar Master, resubscribed for 2 months. He said, I watched all your DSP tries. To this day, you're my favorite streamer, fuck Ninja. Well, I don't know about fucking Ninja, but thank you for the compliment and thank you for the resub. I appreciate that very much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Deadly Feet just gifted a sub to OVZ. Congratulations to OVZ. Thank you, Deadly Feet, for the support. Let us now move on. My number 3 best game of 2020 is The Last of Us 2, because everyone says it's the best game. It deserves multiple spots on this countdown. So The Last of Us 2, no, I'm just kidding. It's not The Last of Us 2. But you may be just as shocked at what I picked for number 3. It is Bug Snacks.
God, that stupid noisemaker.
Bug Snacks. Goddamn motherfucking Bug Snacks is no.
He has a Stream Deck. A fan donated to him a Stream Deck. He still uses that instead of a Stream Deck, even though he has one.
Number 3 favorite game of 2020. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. But I'm serious. This is a fucking insanely good game. All right? When we heard Bug Snacks was going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5, and we saw that very first cartoony trailer, we all cringed. We said, what is this? Are you kidding me? This is supposed to be a game we're looking forward to for PS5 where you catch food creatures, and when you eat them, your body transforms into the food. This is some silly, stupid, cutesy game for little kids, and man. But then all of a sudden, at the very end...
That's right, it works on Windows 10, not 8.
Ominous happens. The camera darkens, and you see some kind of a weird, monstrous creature coming through the forest at you, and just a jump scare, and then it kind of ends, and you're like, what the hell was that? Like, that was completely out of place for the trailer. I don't even understand what I just saw. And at that moment, and you can quote me, go watch the announcement trailer.
Mind you, this is above Demon Souls and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
In that video,
and Spider-Man Miles Morales.
It's going to have some kind of a survival horror twist to it. It's not going to be apparent from the start. But I feel this game is not what it seems, and it's going to be completely different, and it's going to shock everybody. I said it. I said it. And I was right. And, this game is not for kids. I want to repeat that. Ladies and gentlemen. Bug Snacks
it's a kid's game. Shut the fuck up.
They're going to be terrified by the end of the game. They're going to be crying. They're going to have nightmares. They're going to have...
No, they're not.
From playing Bug Snacks. This game has adult themes, like romantic relationships, like depression, like other mental disorders, societal disorders, things like that in the game. These are adult situations. These are adult plot lines.
I have not.
Will not understand.
Last Mega Man game I played was probably on Sega.
They won't understand that there's someone who claims to be a spiritual guru who's actually a hypocrite and is eating all the bug snacks on the island. They won't understand what that means. You know what I mean? It's that complex of the writing. Every character in this game is imperfect and has their own personal flaws, and you get to know each character through dialogue and doing missions with them, and you get to find out through their interactions with each other, which are very realistic. Like real life, everyone has an issue with everyone. No one gets along. Everyone likes one person but hates another for various reasons. And the society in Bug Snacks is very unique in that regard, where you have to try to balance those relationships off of each other to get to know all the characters. And through a series of mini missions of catching bug snacks and feeding bug snacks and doing things, you go through this crazy mystery plot line of where is the head researcher that invited you, a reporter, to the island? Why is she missing? What the hell happened to this person? And through the course of the game, as you find all the
You're not wrong, Shamer.
Parts of the island, there are unique reasons for why they broke up and what happened to this village on the island. It just becomes
Panda League. God damn it, Robert.
More sinister. over time. By the end of the game, there's a giant plot twist. I'm not going to reveal it here because many of you probably never played the game and said, oh, I'm not going to watch Phil play that because that's just a cutesy playthrough for kids. It's not. I'm telling you, if you like a mystery, if you like horror, you're going to like this game. Even as cutesy as it is to catch the silly-looking cutesy bug snacks, by the end of the game, you're going to be like, huh? Because I certainly was. And the finale of this game is one of the most shocking things I've seen in gaming in years. It's just...
This guy is sucking off a child's game.
Because people are giving awards to a game like The Last of Us 2, saying, best writing of the year, best writing of the decade. But then I look at this game like, no, this game actually has better writing than most games in 2020, including The Last of Us 2, objectively. It's the better plot. But no one wants to give this game a shot because they say it looks cutesy and it's for kids. And that's not fair. That's not right. I'm serious. Like, people should be giving...
Oh, you're going to love it, Ruthless.
...to games, regardless of how they look. All right? And I feel like this game... I don't know what happened, why the clip is paused here. There must be just something with the clip. I don't know. See, the thing, I don't think I have the ability to fast forward into the clip. Oh, look, I'm updating the leader. You guys can't see it. I had to update the leaderboard. Like a contribution came in or something. That's what it is. I paused it to update the leaderboard. I'm like doing a ton of updates to the leaderboard. Anyway, I really feel this game is the most overlooked and slept on game of 2020. And if more people would play it, they'd be like, holy shit, I want to now give more opportunity to other games that aren't necessarily mainstream.
It's a children's game.
It shocked me so much because it's so good. I'm telling
you. I wonder why a bunch of adults won't want to play it, because it's a children's game.
Endings, you like horror, you like psychological things going on.
And not like Pokemon where, yeah, it's technically a child's game, but you grew up with it for the past 20 years. You might still want to play it.
It's not. I'm telling you. Yeah, it has those elements in it, absolutely.
No, you don't, Mr. Lark. Shut up.
You can absolutely do that. Gotta catch them all attitude. But that's not what the game is about. By the end, it's completely the opposite.
What was that?
Okay?
Yeah, oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it.
So, Bug Snacks, the most shockingly good game of 2020 for me. Like, literally jaw-droppingly shocking me. Okay? And I hope that because I put this into my countdown at such a higher rank that you guys...
He just changes underwear every time he thinks about it, huh?
Even if you don't like it, I think you have to at least respect it's something different they went for. And I hope that you guys will give it a look, okay? Bug Snacks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to delve.
Top two.
We're about to delve into my top 2 games of the year. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about both games in chronological order in the order they were released. So the order is not
WWE Champions or Ghost of Tsushima? Who's going to be number 1?
Why each of these games, in my mind, could very clearly be chosen for Game of the Year 2020, and then I'm going to make my choice for you live on stream. Sound good? Okay, but before we do that, shout out to 99 Hits, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the sub, 99 Hits. And shout out to Bug Snacks numero uno, who cheered and said, fuck that, Phil. You know Bug Snacks was really number 1. Don't let the bullies and trolls change our minds. Hey, admittedly, as good as Bug Snacks was, I do think the following 2 games are better. All right, just being honest. All right? So, let's talk about, in chronological order, the games that are in contention for my pick for Game of the Year. All right? First game, in chronological order, Ghost of Tsushima. All right? Game, story of Jin Sakai, man who was
yes, butt snacks.
A Japanese, politician, warlord, whatever you want to say. War breaks out in his country when the Mongols invade. Everything gets flipped on its head. All hell breaks loose. And he's trying to live the code of the samurai. But he finds out it doesn't work because this code of the samurai is honorable. The Mongols are not honorable. And trying to fight them with honor doesn't work. You have to resort to underhanded tactics in order to succeed and save your homeland. And the game is gorgeous. Let me tell you, on PS4, one of the best looking games.
Yeah, someone need to play it on PS5 for that very reason. It should be amazing.
The grass in the trees, the wind. The only game I've ever seen with a unique wind mechanic, where the wind is actually your GPS that tells you where to go and how to get places. I've never seen that in a game in my life. Look at that. Unique combat styles. You can play this straightforward like a samurai. Head up, challenge everyone, and try to do parries and dodges and combos. Or you could play it completely stealthily. You can decide that you just want to play like Assassin's Creed, and you could go around trying to backstab everyone.
Like a ninja?
Poison
in Japan?
And stuff like that. Now, admittedly, a lot of people said the game is too similar to Assassin's Creed. You know what I say? This game is what Assassin's Creed should have been. Today, when we're looking at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's a game that's 100% action combat, stab him with a spear, and do this and do that, and there's almost no assassinations left to be spoken of. This game is actually what I feel Assassin's Creed should have become. And Assassin's Creed, at some point along the line, decided they wanted to be Witcher 3. So they veered from that formula of being Assassin's Creed to become Witcher 3, and a game like Ghost of Tsushima stood up and said, well, we're just going to one-up what you guys have been doing all along and show you how it's done. The game's locations are unique and gorgeous. You've got beautiful green lush countryside, giant beautiful flower fields, big vistas, awesome gorges and canyons, beautiful seaside, really decrepit.
It's amazing how good at
burnt down
backstabbing
by
he is,
these
isn't he?
Mongols that look terrible.
And throwing you under the bus.
Area of the game that's all snow and ice and stuff. Really unique, really well done in that regard. The story, it's outstanding. The story is well paced. The story is interesting. There's major side characters you get to know and like over the course of the game. Even though they're not necessarily the best people or the most likable characters, you get to know who they are through their actions and through learning their backstories and through series of missions where you help them out. Some of them have their own intriguing mysteries of what happened, why did someone try to assassinate my whole family, and how can you help me figure this out and stuff like that. I like that. But I also like the fact that the game is flexible. If you want to just play it straight up like a fighting game, combat game, I want to challenge everyone head up and do duels. You can do that. I want to just do parrying and dodging in combat. You can do that. Or you can do ranged combat. Or
Kan Ben var. Hon get this car. Sunspot Gallery.
Variability in the combat engine of Ghost of Tsushima. Also, the side content of the game is incredibly addicting and fun. Unlike a lot of these open world games that have a million things to do on the map, this game slowly unveils those things to you at a good pace. And I just found myself getting so immersed in this game as I played it over time. Oh my god, there's a fox. Chase the fox to a shrine and get an upgrade. Oh, what the hell is that? There's a hidden shrine at the top of this waterfall. Let's climb up there and get, a special power-up or whatever. Oh, look at that. There's a camp.
Wow, there's a waterfall in a game and it has something behind it? Imagine that.
And you can organically flow through all the pieces of this game like that and never feel bored.
It's gonna be Ghost of Tsushima. That's what it's like. Oh, I'm doing it I'm doing it in what is it said? Chronological order. Then I'll decide. Like, it's Ghost of Tsushima. I'm calling it now.
By the way, one of the most well-written endings I've seen in a game in recent years. I mean that.
Even better than the ending of Bugsnax that you just blew on camera?
I'm spoiling any of it. The game gives you a critical choice at the end that comes full circle from all of your choices in the game. And I felt like that was exactly how I wanted the game to end, and it was like a perfect ending and leaves it open-ended for a sequel. So, for me, I thought this was one of the best written games I've played in a very long time.
Sushi!
With very few criticisms. Like, honestly, what I'm thinking, I'm trying to think in my head, like what was the real shortcoming of the game, And
no one will touch that.
It's hard for me to even put my finger on anything major, and I would feel like I'd be more nitpicking than anything else. The major criticisms I had of this, I've heard of this game, I should say, people say it's boring and repetitive.
You always nitpick.
I never felt that way. I seriously never felt that way. I've played many games like that. Like I said, Far Cry is like the real example of that.
DSP looks like it.
You get bored.
It's hilarious how much DSP looks at it. When he looks directly into the camera, he even has the hairline going.
Outstanding.
That's why Kumo.
Oh, and by the way, the loading times on PlayStation 4, not PS5, PlayStation 4, the loading times were nearly non-existent. I have no idea how they pulled that off, because no other game developing studio did what Sucker Punch did with this game. Every other game takes forever to load. This game was like, wait 10 seconds, you reloaded the entire fucking world. I don't know how they did it. That's some magic shit. Of course, now all the games run well on PS5 because it's on SSD, a solid-state drive, but I don't know how they pulled that shit off on PS4, okay? So Ghost of Tsushima, beautiful game. The best of all the
coming on PS5, this is going to be it.
Essentially what you wish Assassin's Creed had become instead of becoming Witcher 3. Outstanding plot, great side characters, tons of content. It's everything you would want in an excellent game. Okay? An excellent open world combat action hybrid game. There you go. So then, what other game in 2020 could even stand up or compare? I just kissed Ghost of Tsushima's butt, right? Well,
and Bugsnax.
Another game that I feel is just as good as Ghost of Tsushima, and that game is called Yakuza 7. Yakuza 7.
You fell asleep during Yakuza 7.
Up to this point has been a game franchise where you've wandered through Japan, usually Tokyo, Kamurocho, Tokyo, and you're beating up thugs in the street.
You fell asleep.
You're running around, you're mashing buttons, you're doing combos.
During Yakuza 7.
You do another combo.
Multiple times.
I'm not even kidding. 70% of
you literally fell asleep. And you were juggling like, I'm not sleeping. There's a troll saying that I'm sleeping, guys. I didn't fall asleep.
But also having
you so fell asleep.
You'll run into the most silly people in the streets of Kamurocho, learn their stories, try to help them out, and by doing that, you learn upgrade, and you get all kinds of fun stuff unlocked for your characters. Okay, but there's always this overwhelming, underlying, very serious, dramatic.
Of course, he skipped all the relationship stuff, dude. He has to. He's married. Don't you know that?
After 6 iterations plus Yakuza 0, so technically I guess that would be 7 iterations of Yakuza, that they were going to change the style from being running around and doing action-based combat and turn it into turn-based combat like a typical JRPG like Dragon Quest. I think a lot of people were skeptical. Me, I reserved judgment and said, I'm going to see what they can do with this. I love turn-based, all right? I love turn-based combat. And if they do something that's robust and interesting, I feel that this could be a really great change for the Yakuza franchise. I'm very happy to say it was. They basically took...
I've never played a Yakuza game.
Games like... Oh, wow, I actually died.
It looks interesting, but I don't think it'd be up my alley.
One of the rare times I actually died in the playthrough, I picked for the clip for the Game of the Year Awards. I got my ass beat by a giant piece of meat. It happens. All right. So, they took elements from great JRPG franchises, such as Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, And we're talking, you know, the old school ones. We're not talking the more modernized ones where it's a lot of action-based, but the turn-based combat. And they use things like the job or classes from those games, being able to change the kind of class that you are on the fly and learn new abilities and stuff. And they made it a robust combat system that absolutely.
Of course it's fake, dude. Why do you think she has the coof and he doesn't?
Remember South Park: The Stick of Truth? How in that game they take a bunch of kids, basically LARPing, pretending like they're fantasy characters, and they explain it in very matter-of-fact ways. Oh, the lightning bolts, he's throwing tinfoil at you, right? Oh, the fire is really, he's blowing a match at you. Or, oh, it's not really like claws, he's actually got like knives he stole from his mom's kitchen, and he's swiping the knives at you, right? Stuff like that. Oh, it's not really ice magic, he has a bucket full of ice and he throws at your legs and freezes your toes. You know, they tried to make it realistic in how magic can actually work, or fantasy combat can work in the real life. And that's basically what they did in this game. Look how ridiculous some of these characters are, and the names are like tongue-in-cheek references to characters from other like RPG franchises. And it's hilarious if you play Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy to see those references in this game. It's really well done. And again, the classes are good. The cast of characters, I thought at first it was only going to be the 4 core characters. No, there's other characters, some of which are unlocked naturally through the story, and others that are unlocked as optional characters depending on side missions that you do, that add to the length of the game and actually add to the robustness of the combat of the game, which is really
robust.
The game has
we got ourselves another robust
than the previous Yakuza games, and this game has multiple locations.
Probably not. I don't think I've ever seen any.
From previous Yakuza games.
I've seen him play Yakuza games, but I've never like watched anyone play
it.
So
you have Kamurocho plus other locations from Yakuza plus Jincho, which is really neat.
Don't insult the blobfish. Blobfish look like that because they're usually 18 times pressure. So when you take them out to normal pressure, they explode. Literally, they explode. That's why they look like that.
Without spoiling, I'm not gonna tell you what they are, but it's really neat when they have it. Like, wow, if you've played the previous games, this is awesome. But if you haven't, this game is the perfect opportunity for you to jump into the Yakuza series because you don't need to understand any of those references to get the plot of this game, which is really cool. Basically, it's the best of all worlds. Great, robust JRPG combat with a class-based system that has variety because you can switch up those jobs and classes. A unique cast of characters, an amazing amount of side content, and a really awesome open-world RPG aspect to it. An amazingly written dramatic storyline, but an incredible amount of fun and meaningful side content as well. This game is absolutely outstanding. I enjoyed every single minute of the 80 hours that I played the game. I mean that. So to the point where I beat the game and I'm still playing it. I'm still playing it because I like it so much. I'm doing all the post-game content. It's that damn good of a game in my opinion. So Yakuza 7. Outstanding game. Incredibly well done. It was definitely a gamble for them to take a franchise that was well known and turn it into a JRPG. But I think that they succeeded on all levels. It's an insanely good game. By the way, it sold incredibly well in Japan to the point where it now looks like Yakuza is going to go crazy. Like they're probably going to have action-based games, RPG-based games. Like I think they're going to go crazy and go to town because this is such a profitable franchise for Sega. Pretty much their most profitable franchise at this point, and they're just going to go to town with it. So that's awesome. Okay, guys. So
buying real estate makes you stronger. That's pretty funny.
All that being said, I have a lot to consider. A lot to consider when I have to pick my game of the year for 2020. All right, hold on one second because Jay Hale is here to be $10. A good show, Phil. Playing Ninja Gaiden Black, by the way, brother. Actually, I started to play through that many years ago when I did my most difficult games or most annoying rage-causing games marathon. I just never got around to playing it again. But
because you hated it.
$10 tip, and thank you for the suggestion. Okay, now how do I decide between two games that I feel were best in class in 2020? Definitely, Yakuza Like a Dragon was the best RPG. And people have actually asked me, out of all the Yakuza games I played, what's my favorite one? Well, it's a tie between the first one I played, Yakuza 4, and Yakuza 7. Okay? Ghost of Tsushima, in my opinion, the best in-class, open-world, roaming, action-based combat game of 2020. So when you're looking at those two head-to-head, you know, it's incredibly hard to make a decision between the two because both of them have so many positive things and so few negatives. I enjoyed both games to the point where I played them kind of post-game content to try to platinum them. Like, how do you decide? How do you decide? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You don't. You say it's a tie and you leave it at that. No, I'm not going to do that. That's the ultimate cop-out. I would not do that. I have to pick. I have to pick a winner between these two games, all right? And just so you know, no, it's not going to be, oh, I played Yakuza more recently, so that's the one that I'm going to pick right by default. I'm not doing that. I fully remember my playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. I remember how much I enjoyed the game, how fun that playthrough was. We were, hell.
You actually remembered something for once? Wow.
Haikus together.
Figured the gym would have fucked you up.
We were making haikus together because we liked the game so much. But during Yakuza, we were talking about Japanese culture and how the game ties into real life stuff in Japan. And I was learning things about Japanese culture for the first time, which was remarkable. That's the true key to a great game. When you have a fun, organic experience.
You're learning about Japanese culture for the first time. Admits that he's played 4, 5, 6, 0, Kiwami, or Kiwami. Like, he's played multiple Japanese Yakuza games. But this is the first time he's ever learned anything about the Japanese culture. That's great to know, DSP, that you pay so little attention.
On a stream, and you're having all these fun interactions that are memorable, not only just for the game, but because of what we talked about during the playthroughs. That's how I know those are the best.
I didn't play any of those, but from what I heard, Hades is amazing. I want to play that as well.
And then look at what we talked about when we played last.
I want to play Hades.
You tell me.
Sounds fucking amazing.
Seriously, I think that's really the sign of a robust
chair squeak.
Enjoyment level of someone who's both playing and watching those games, right? So this is a really tough call for me. This is a really tough call for me, but I got to go with my gut, and I got to go.
Wait for it.
With my personal preference, all right? And
wait for it.
Admittedly, the kind of gamer I am, the games that I grew up playing, when it goes to ultimate enjoyment factor,
Bugsnax.
I've got to go with Yakuza 7 as my game of the year for 2020.
Boo.
Reason being, even though I think both games are best in class, I think I like JRPG slightly better. I don't actually think it's the quality of the game that has allowed me to pick Yakuza, but the fact that I like JRPGs better. It had to be a subjective decision instead of an objective decision, because on paper, objectively, both Ghost of Tsushima and Yakuza 7 are best in class for 2020. I couldn't tell you that one game is better than the other. They're that fucking good. But when you look at what I personally enjoy more, I think I like JRPGs more than the open world combat. So for that reason alone, I think I have to pick Yakuza 7. Now, there's some people who are very happy with that decision, and some people who are very upset because people were using the wager system on Twitch tonight to wager their channel points. And a lot of people are like, I'm angry, I lost a bunch of channel points. But wow, 2.2 million channel points wagered and won. Holy crap, that's a lot of channel points, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite game, the best game of 2020 in my opinion, was Yakuza 7, but that was insanely narrow between it and Ghost of Tsushima. I really feel it could have been either game, as my pick, but I had to go subjectively instead of objectively, simply because I didn't even know how to make the discerning between the two. Fair enough? All right. Well, Tora Kill just cheered, did 300-bit cheer, which is the top cheer of the night. So first of all, let's get him on the leaderboard. He actually says something very meaningful here that I want to read here as part of this video, because I think.
But he gave you a lot of money, so that makes it meaningful.
He says the following.
A lot of them.
Yakuza is a yearly franchise now. It's amazing that the quality is still so high. Judgment was released just last year. It's a totally different game, but it's still so good. I completely agree with you. Like, this studio is pumping out hit after hit, and I think it's funny, because you used to say Naughty Dog or BioWare, or, like, we have these game studios. Those were synonymous with greatness. This studio that makes the Yakuza and Judgment games is one of the best studios in the world right now. I don't even care who wants to try to counter me. No, you're full of shit.
So right now he's at $42 in tips.
They're the ones you can dip money in, and you're going to get a quality game every single time that you play one of their games. They have not made a bad game yet. So that's pretty damn awesome. Sir Spartan King Judy says, that decision cost me 250,000 penne points, and he used the rage face. All right, Bugsnax numero uno cheered. He's a haiku for memories. Bugsnax was the best. I know that you know that, Phil. The list is a fraud. It fit the haiku. That's amazing. It actually fit the haiku. That was pretty damned awesome. Timbo Slice Cheer, he said, this was rigged like the 2020 presidential election. I demand a recount. Well, that recount will go just as well as the real life one did. So sorry, Timbo. It is what it is. Yakuza 7, game of the year for me, bro. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my game of the year countdown for 2020. I apologize that it took so long for me to get to it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. Thank you for your support throughout 2020. It was an amazing gaming year, and here's to another awesome one coming up in 2021. Peace out. All right, folks. That's it, but I still have some extra time. I still have about 15, 20 minutes I can chill with you guys. So whatever you guys want to talk about, it's totally up to you. If you just want to hang out and just discuss stuff or whatever, I would appreciate it, guys. We're at $42 in tips. I would really appreciate it if we get some more, like I said, these countdown streams, sadly, they didn't even do as well as my gameplay streams, and right now I really need the help with tips. So if you like this stream, please, if you can tip me, I would appreciate it. We just got to cheer.
There we go, made my own haiku.
Honest. Oh, here we go. Now he's talking about WWE champions, so he's a piece of shit. You piece of donkey shit.
Ooh, talking about WWE champions. How dare you? You do not talk about the WWE champions. It's amazing how quickly he gets so pissy about it, too. But it doesn't mean anything, guys. It's just a meme. I'm totally not wasting my entire paycheck on this shit, guys.
How about this? WWE champions.
Lean in, manual band.
WWE champions lives rent-free in your motherfucking head. I don't think about WWE champions. You do. You probably know way more about the fucking game than I ever will, because you're an idiot. You're an obsessed loser.
Oh, God. Perfect pause. Look at that. You can really see the way his one lip droops down from his stroke that he refuses to admit that he had. Some people might deny he had a stroke, but no, you see that face. He had a stroke. May have been a mini one, but that's a stroke face right there. And not like his fappening video either. Holy shit, what a face.
Okay, then. Benzuko Lives just hit me $2. It's salty about Doom Eternal, I'm not going to lie. Hey, yeah, but if you watch my Disappointing Games Countdown, you know I really didn't like the game. I really didn't. It felt more like a chore for me to get through that game. I really didn't enjoy it that much. So, you probably figured it wasn't going to be on my list, right?
Man, that was amazing.
All right. I'm glad to hear that my stream helped you to relax. I'm sorry I didn't get to read your name because your message scrolled so fast I couldn't read off my screen. So Spartan King just cheers says, I'm surprised Resident Evil 3 Remake wasn't on either list. All right. Fair enough, and here's why. Because you may ask, why is Resident Evil 3 Remake not on either list? Honestly, the game just didn't really resonate with me in any way. I didn't really...
You hated it.
...that much, but I didn't really like it that much. You know what I mean? The game just kind of... like, the opposite of that is Resident Evil 2 Remake. That game took a game that was great from back in the day and improved upon it and made it so good and made it a modernized game. It was, like, really, really good the way they did it. I just felt like Resident Evil 3 was kind of like... Sure, it existed, and it was fun, but it wasn't great. It was too short. A lot of people complained because they said that it got way too much content out of the game. I agree with you. I feel that it was just too short of a game for $60. At the same time, it wasn't like... When I played it, I enjoyed it, except for one boss fight that I raged at. For the rest of it, it was fun. And that's what I mean, like... You
didn't rage at it. You literally...
It didn't really resonate as a, oh my god, best in class.
He literally set the controller down and said, I'm not playing until someone tells me how to beat this game. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. In fact, I made a video making fun of it, where I had him lose to the first Goomba in Mario. Because he literally sets the controller down, I'm not playing until someone tells me how to beat this thing.
Like Resident Evil 2 did. So for me, like, it doesn't really have any lasting power to maybe even think about it at the end of the year. I'm just being honest here. Jay Hale, to be $21, said, fuck him up, Phil, fuck him up. Wow, thank you, Jay Hale, for the tips tonight. I appreciate this. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. That's the top tip of the night. And that allows us to hit the glasses goal. So I'll put the glasses on that. We're up to $65 in tips right now. Thank you.
It hurt him so badly.
Will this hit the tips goal? Well, will it make us hit the tips goal? No, but it gets us 2/3 of the way there, so thank you, Dutron. Plazat5 to be $5. Thank you for the countdown. You're welcome, Plazat5. Thank you for the tip. That gets us to $71 in tips now. Then Shao Kahn Artist tipped me $10. Thank you, Shao Kahn Artist, for a $10 tip. That gets us up to $81 in tips now. Holy crap. What I'll say, guys, thank you for waiting for the end. I mean that, because like I really knew it was going to take a long time to get through that countdown. So I appreciate you guys waiting to the end to do the contribution so they didn't derail it. Thank you. Dark Shadow Wizard Dragon cheers that you forgot to add Kakarot to your list. Again, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is the same situation as Resident Evil 3. It didn't really resonate. It wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't a great game. I was hoping it was going to be much better. It just kind of was like, meh, so it doesn't make either list. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really resonate, make me think about it. Expand Dogs and Animal Crossing didn't even get an honorable mention. Fair enough. I very strongly considered Animal Crossing. And maybe I should have put it as an honorable mention. It definitely wasn't going to make top 10 games of the year, because admittedly, even when I played it, did I like the game? Yes. But
it make a lot of money? No.
It was a game that was meant to be a time killer. That was not a game that was meant to be, oh my god, it's a robust, unique gameplay experience, and I can't live without it. I could have literally never played Animal Crossing and still, it wouldn't have mattered. This was a very different kind of year with COVID, where it was basically a very chill time killer for us. I'll admit, I probably should have made it an honorable mention, and now I feel a little bad that I didn't, so I do appreciate that. Gunnar Hansen to me $2 says, what about Animal Crossing? It was a game that came out during the pandemic and helped people forget about what's happening. You're right. Again, it should have been, I 100% will publicly admit, I should have made that an honorable mention, and now I kind of feel stupid that I didn't. I definitely should have done that. I don't know.
Even though your wife played it more than you did on your business Switch that you own.
Rogeezy has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Rogeezy, for the sub. Dollbots is here. He cheers it. Where does Scrat's Nutty Adventure rank? So here's the thing. If I had actually played
He's up to 83.
Came out, it definitely would have been worst game of the year. I'm serious. That's like the most boring game I've ever seen in my life. But it's an older game. It just so happened to be played during a marathon, so it definitely doesn't rank, Okay. What about Genshin? See, Genshin Impact's kind of unique, because Genshin Impact is such a weird game. It's not really a console game, but it's also not really a mobile game. It just kind of is a game, and is it fun? Yeah, but I don't really feel like I played enough Genshin to really even mention it. Like, seriously, I only played, like 4 or 5 streams of it. I didn't get far enough into it to really see, once you get into the story and stuff, like what kind of a game it really would be at a higher level. I just kind of went, I was in the...
Because you knew you're going to get addicted to it and spend all your money on it?
I haven't been educated enough to rank it, you know what I mean? Dark Shadow Wizard Dragon Cheers, when are you doing your worst games list? Already did. There is no worst games list. It's the most disappointing games list. And that already came out. I don't do a worst games list. I never have. It's always been most disappointing and the best games. I don't do...
Like, I'm so close, guys. I'm at $83. Give me another $17.
That's a good question. Super Flash says, what's Kat's game of the year? I asked her, and I don't think she can decide. She basically loved Ghost of Tsushima and Yakuza 7 equally, and she couldn't even... She says, I can't choose. They're both so good. I had to choose. She didn't. Is there a reason? Tell me why didn't make honorable mention? You know, I guess what you gotta think about is when I'm doing these lists, and especially the honorable mentions, I'm trying to find games that maybe people absolutely.
I say Code Vein. He should have played it by now, Mister. I like the Dark Souls style games, guys.
Tell me why it was.
But I don't play that one because it's waifus.
Like, it was a great narrative, but I don't think, like, after I played it, maybe I thought about it twice. You know what I mean? When I played it, I liked it. But after I beat it, I probably thought about it like 2 more times, and that was it. You know what I mean? Well, there's other games that kind of resonate, and I think about over and over and compare it to other games during the year, and that didn't really happen with Tell Me Why. By the way, Little Hope,
tell me
way
why
better narrative
I never want to hear you say.
Trumped it and took any thoughts of Tell Me Why out of my head, I would say. So Spartan King Cheese, 2021 is going to be a wild in terms of end-of-year countdowns. So many games to look forward to. I agree. Here's what I hope. I really hope they don't release all the games in November and December. Please, of anything. You know, get them all out September, October, November. Give people a chance to finish them so we can actually do, like, I could do a year-end countdown at the end of the year and not a month later. This was frustrating to me this year that I couldn't do it until so.
They came out in November. You had over a month to beat them, and you couldn't because you're a bitch.
Alpha and Omega, right? Quiet Man? Oh, it's the best game ever made and the worst game ever made. All at the same time, of course. Stinky Dinks, Donkey Kong 64 absolutely was my most painful playthrough of last year. That's why I had to. It was a joke that I put on my disappointing games list because obviously it wasn't a game from 2020. But I had to bring it up. That was like pure pain to play and get through that game. 100% pure fucking pain.
Carrot come busting in and beat the shit out of him if you try to play that game.
$5 said, hey, I haven't been around recently. I'm wondering when you're going to play the game Maneater. Actually, I have it. Like, look at my screen. I didn't download it yet, but I have the rights to it. And I am planning on
the rights to it
this month. The thing is, there's no pressure because I have it. I can play it whenever I want. But I am considering it as like a late night stream or something this month. We'll see how this month goes. If I need more content for late night streams, maybe I'll do it this month. We'll see.
How about you play Divinity 2 Original Sin, the game you already paid to play?
Miles Morales, it was in my honorable mentions for Camaro. It was in my honorable mentions. You must have missed it. Cookie Monster says Astro's Playroom. Again, fair enough. Astro's Playroom, probably another game. I really legitimately enjoyed it. It's a free game that came with PS5, so it's probably something I should have mentioned. Even though technically, it's less of a game and more of a tech demo when you really think about it. Like, does it have gameplay elements? Yes. But more of the focus of it is to showcase the haptic feedback of the PlayStation 5 controller, not necessarily showcasing robust gameplay. So, it would be hard to really even squeeze it into the countdown anywhere. You know what I mean? Timbo Slice Cheers says this is the best day for Yakuza Game Studios. You give them the honor Game of the Year, and Judgment Day gets a next gen remake. Yeah, although admittedly I think that's kind of silly. So for those who don't know, they just announced this. They said Judgment is going to have a next gen remake on PS5 coming out in April of this year. This year, Judgment is coming out for PS5. That's great. Especially if you have a PS5, you didn't play Judgment. I urge you to. That's an amazingly good game for the same people who made Yakuza.
They fell asleep.
It's not turn-based combat. It's action-based combat, but it's a really great detective game. But it's 2 years old. Like, what remaster does it need? How much better, realistically, is Judgment going to play on PS5 versus PS4? You know what I mean? Like, it looked amazing on PS4. It's not gonna run better, look better, right? Dire Sock says, does it feel weird doing clips from when you were younger? Even with a retrospective, not many jobs let you basically look back at your younger self. You know, it's, in my opinion, the retrospectives are very good because they give me a real perspective.
Me.
And they allow me to see how I've grown, how I've changed. And I watch myself back from 10 years ago and I cringe just like you guys. I cringe at the stuff I used to do. I'm a very different person now. A very different person than the person I was 10 years ago. So many things. I've matured so much. My life has changed completely from the ground up.
I'm so mature, guys.
You know, I look at the stuff I used to do and get away with back then. I'm like, dude, I would never even fathom doing that kind of stuff in the modern day. Because I know better, you know. I've grown so much, and I realize the things I say and do have consequences. People can be hurt by the things I say on a stream. You know what I mean? And that's why I wouldn't go as far to do some of those things anymore. But it's always...
He is 38 years old, and he just learned that things he says and does could come back to bite him in the ass, guys. 38 years old. Just learned that he shouldn't say stupid shit all the time, because it might bite him in the ass afterwards. Mind you, remember, every time he says, that was a younger me, that was a more immature version of me, guys. Like, when he did his Adolf Himmler thing. He was like 30, 31, 32, 30. Like, he's not talking about when he was 14 he said something stupid. He's talking about he was 34 and he said and did something stupid. Again, it's not like, oh, we found a tweet from when you were 13 and you said something stupid. No. He was in his 30s. I know, well, actually, this one was from when he was 29, right? He was in his 30s when he said and did this stuff. So don't let him sit there and be like, yeah, guys, I was young and immature back then. You were 31, 32, 33 years old, jackwagon.
Always good to look back at the past. And here's why. I've always said this before. This is why I don't go back and I don't remove videos from my past that people make fun of me for or quote, oh, Phil's a hypocrite because 10 years ago he said this. Yes, because we all know 10 years ago Phil's the same as modern Phil, right? But
you were 28 years old.
Here's why.
Not a child.
Simply because if you ignore the past like it didn't happen and you forget the past, you can't learn from it. If you forget that you made mistakes, you won't be reminded.
See you, Mitch. Thanks for hanging out.
Remember not to make them again. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's dangerous when I hear about people who say, oh, we want to forget about the real history of slavery and shit in the United States, pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, top 10 DSP racist moments, and he had those multiple years.
We have to remember.
So like he did it once, oh, hey, that was a bad idea. No, he did it multiple years, guys.
And not commit the same kind of mistakes in the future. You have to remember the bad things you did so that you don't commit them again. You see? I leave all that shit public because I want to see how bad I was so I know not to be that person again. You understand? And
really, if you don't leave a video reference of you pretending to be a Nazi exterminating the Jews, you'll do it again?
It should stay there forever.
Wow.
So that we know where we came from and we can be better. Or else you'll forget all about it. That's my take on it anyway. So. Alright, guys. Any final things? Last few minutes here. I'll stick around for another, 5-10 minutes tops. But then I got to get going. I got to get uploaded. And, I'm off to working on my day off for tomorrow. I got to figure out my meal schedule for the week. I got to get the shopping list together so I can go shopping in the morning and everything. That's correct. Snakefish Gaming says the man who forgets his history is doomed to repeat it. Damn straight. That's a great saying.
I bet he never heard that before. Also, that's an old saying, but he's probably never heard it before.
Down Eternal Game Studios.
Or he did, but he doesn't remember because he has no fucking memory from all that gin.
So Google Stadia is not shutting down entirely, although do you want my honest opinion? I think they're on the way out anyway. But what Google Stadia announced today is they had an internal game studio. They basically 2 years ago opened it, hired all these game devs, have them working on games. None of the games came out. Canceled everything and just fired everyone, and now the whole thing's off. So Google Stadia is only going to be doing third-party games from now on, so there will still be a service of streaming these games or whatever, but that's it. No more original games coming from Google. They've decided against making the original games. I mean, Amazon did the same thing. They haven't pumped out a single game yet. They have a game studio that just has failed, and canceled every project. It's funny how Google and Amazon thought it was going to be so easy to make games. Oh, we could do that. We're rich, right? We can just do what everyone else does, and they haven't pumped out a single product yet. But anyway, I almost, this is the first sign that obviously they're admitting failure, and I would say within the next 2-3 years, Stadia won't exist anymore. I could be completely wrong, but that's the way I see it going.
He's got to go grocery shopping every day, dude. Every week. It's his only day outside of the Gout mansion. If he only does shopping every other week, that's 2 weeks in a row of him never leaving the Gout mansion. Never taking a shower. Why does he keep fucking with his Hitler stash and Hitler hair?
Among you, just wrap it up. I need to win pasta. Was there a wager about how long the stream would go? Jeez.
Stare at chat, waiting for the last $12. Come on, guys, we're only $12 away.
Most anticipated games of 2021. The problem is we don't really know what's coming out in 2021. I would say this is pure speculation. I would say
really we don't know what's coming out.
Called Forbidden West. If God of
games coming out in 21.
So Resident Evil 8. And outside of that,
hey, here's a huge fucking list of them.
I mean that, the game releases schedule is so weird now because of COVID. That's hard to even say what's.
Here's all the games coming out in January. Here's all the games coming out in February. Here's all the games coming out in March.
There are that many, right? There's really not that much going on.
Games coming out in April.
Far Cry 6,
games coming out in May. Ooh, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, May 14th. Nice.
Local Nomad just hit me $3. Said, glad you chose Yakuza. Thanks for the fun stream, Phil. Have a nice day.
June. And then to be announced.
Nomad, I appreciate the contribution, and I appreciate the kind words.
So we got all the way into June for games that'll be coming out.
Looks like that's probably where we're going to end it. Spartan King just cheered.
But we don't know what's going to come out, guys. There's no way of knowing.
Oh, no, I don't have any show
Google it.
I really, frankly, unlike the last one, which was about an hour long, I don't have time tonight to do it. So, BeastBot has subscribed for 12 months in a row, and now at tier 2. Thank you for a year of support, BeastBot. He says, 1 whole year. Crazy how life was different when I started hopping on your streams. You're with me through the wild ride of 2020, so here's to another year. I know. At this time last year, we were only hearing wild rumblings about some virus over in China that may make it across overseas, and holy shit, what a year it's been, right? All right. Yeah, we basically have a couple minutes left. If anyone has anything to talk about, last chance. And then we're going to get out of here.
Nope. Let's go back. 1 second. We're going to make that normal. Wait for it.
Right? There's really not that much going on.
Let's see if I can't click on it just right.
That got definitely delayed. We don't even know when that's coming out, right? Local Nomad just tipped me $3. Said, glad you chose Yakuza. Thanks for the fun stream, Phil. Have a nice day off. Thank you, Local Nomad. I appreciate the contribution, and I appreciate the kind words. There you go. $91 in tips, folks.
Well, there you go. He's at 91, just $9 more, and he has a good stream.
King just cheered. Is there anything for a quick post-countdown show and tell like last time? Oh, no, I don't have any show and tell for tonight, and I don't really, frankly, unlike the last one, which was about an hour long, I don't have time tonight to do it, so... Beastbot has subscribed for 12 months in a row and now at tier 2. Thank you for a year's...
There it was. 234.
12 months in a row and now at tier 2.
I mean, come on, DSP. You make this too easy. I'm going to screen... I'm going to... Print screen, put into paint. I mean, really, DSP, you make this too easy. And then post that to Twitter. Like, come on, DSP. I mean, are you trying to make my job this easy? Because you are making my job this easy. Oh my god, he makes this too easy. Hey, Sunspot. Oh my god. My Twitter, right there. Holla holla dada from the... Ooh, Crispy Bacon. I like that name. That's a good name. Oh, crisp. Not Crips. Crispy Bacon. Put you up there. Holla holla for the dada dada crisp. Bacon. God damn it, I fucked his name up. I am so sorry. Dishonor me. Dishonor my family. Dishonor my cow. I really fucked that one up, didn't I? I was thinking about bacon and it distracted me. Of course, happy day, dude. But I would also like to point out, look at his arm. Look at how his arm's shaped. What the fuck is wrong with his arm? Like, skinny. You get a bulge where his elbow is and skinny. I don't know about you, but my elbow is not the thickest part of my arm. The thickest part of his arm is his elbow. How fucking creepy is that? Are you kidding me? Like, you see it, like, still like that. It's like, what happened to his arm? It's like, nothing happened. It's just the way it looks. Gah. Easily amused. Alright, let's get rid of that and continue. We're almost at the end, guys.
Thank you for your
about
support.
8 more minutes to go.
He says, 1 whole year. Crazy how life was different when I started hopping on the street. You were with me through the wild ride of 2020, so here's to another year. I know. At this time last year, we were only hearing wild rumblings about some.
I say pretty soon he won't be able to pick up his defense axe, guys. Then how will he defend himself?
Holy shit!
He won't be able to.
Right. All right.
Ever heard of the terrible tragedy of Darth Piggy?
A couple minutes left. If anyone has anything to talk about,
He got so weak he couldn't pick up his own lightsaber.
Thank you guys so much for the support tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to the countdown. Remember, I'm not here tomorrow. I'm back on Wednesday with hopefully Destruction All-Stars. I hope it really comes out like it's supposed to and I can get it on PS.
He's going to be playing Destruction. Why are you playing a new game when you're supposed to be playing fucking Divinity 2 Original Sin?
Local Nomad says his tip come through is verified. He wants to know. I can check for you.
He's supposed to be playing Divinity 2 Original Sin. Why is he not playing that? Still. Other than he's the pig roach, and that's what he does.
Let's find out.
Tickquisition. Down on the farm.
It shows as unverified, but it does shows as registered Local Nomad. So if you just tried to make a verified account, chances are it's not done yet. But if you thought it was already verified, no, it shows as registered with PayPal, but not fully verified yet, for whatever reason. I don't know why.
But he's still not at 100. So it's a terrible stream, guys.
All right. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much else to talk about. People spamming the same ridiculous questions and stuff, so... yeah, that's true. Dying Light 2 got cut off, too. Right, Dying Light 2 keeps getting release dates and then getting bump, and we don't even know if Dying Light 2 is coming out.
Same thing with Dead Island 2.
It's really
Please give me Dead Island 2.
Oh, yeah, these are my games I'm anticipating for this year because they just keep getting delayed and don't have release dates. Tag 365 cheers if you intend to play Brio when it comes out. It now comes out in May. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It depends on how much money you guys give me.
The same vibe as like Wasteland 3 and a lot of these other games that seem to be like PC-centric games. And
oh, it can't be on PC, guys. It doesn't have a good PC.
I don't feel a vibe.
Spent $3,000 on a lemon, guys.
Guess we'll see. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that's going to be it for tonight's stream. I want to say thank you. Great streaming week this last week. Thanks for being very patient with me doing my
people are liking the picture I just posted on my Twitter.
Happy because we can move on.
Who do you voodoo, bitch? Had the kids, had the wife, better get out of sight. Who do you voodoo, bitch?
It's the Destruction All-Stars and Call of Duty. Thursday, it's Assassin's Creed Valhalla and post-game of Yakuza 7. Friday, it's Immortals, Phoenix Rising, and Street Fighter. Saturday, it's my retrospective marathon event. We're going to go down memory lane and look back at all those moments you guys nominated. There's going to be a live DSP Tries It of stuffed crust Papa John's pizza. And I'm going to dip it in ranch sauce, a double DSP Tries It. And then the rest of the weekend is going to be more of a balance of those games. Probably I'm going to do like a major Call of Duty stream on daytime.
Your DSP Tries It is to eat pizza. But I'll dip it in ranch, guys. It's eating pizza on stream. What the I'll cook a pizza and eat it on stream at this point. I don't have any ranch. I prefer honey mustard. When I eat a salad, I prefer honey mustard over ranch. I'm
stream on Sunday. So it's going to be a good variety of stuff this coming week.
I don't know, I'm kind of wanting pizza now, so I'll find it soon and eat me some pizza.
On the new stuff into the second week of February. Remember, we're going to have the new Super Mario game. I'm going to be starting up Divinity Original Sin 2. We're going to have the new Viewer's Choice playthrough starting up. The Anteater. So we're going
Dang, I'm going to have the song stuck in my head.
So thank you. I understand it was a slow start to the year with me trying to finish up a lot of stuff and juggling stuff, but good new stuff is right around the bend. It's going to be good. Okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you very much for your support. I hope that you have a good evening. I'll see you all in the morning.
Pizza wrapped in bacon.
No, I won't. Because I'm not here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll see you all on Wednesday morning. And we're going to see what the hell Destruction All-Stars is all about. Sound good? All right, everyone. Have a good night. I'm going to upload this.
Terrible stream. Only got $91, guys.
Have a good night. And I'll see you all later. No tip came in. No. Because people were wondering. I guess the wager was for, are we going to make the tips call? No final tip came in. We didn't make the tips.
Stall.
Skull. So I guess that's a no. And people who won the Pen 8 points probably racked up a fortune. We didn't do it. Sorry, guys. All right, everyone. Have a good night. See you Wednesday.
Nah, I won't do the Hitler thing again. Because he only used 2 fingers. He slid it with 2 fingers. Wow, look at that stall. He's still stalling. He's waiting. Let's see, 17. We got 4 more minutes on this video. Is he going to just sit there and stare at the chat for 4 minutes? Let's find out. Music's still playing. You can still hear the PS5 in the background.
Hold on, wait. No, hey there, babe said, wait a second. What is it? What is it, hey there, babe? Something important? What is it? He said, hey, wait a second. What's going on? What do you need from me? What's wrong? What's happening?
Stalling. Holy shit, is he stalling?
What's wrong? I'm here.
It's about
What
to
are you
end,
talking
King.
about?
Sorry about that.
The stream's over. Go home. Stop this. Turn off your computer right now. What are you still here for? It's over. The stream is over. It's done. Get out of here. Go do something else. All right? I swear I'll be back on Wednesday. Go watch videos on DSP Gaming if you're that bored. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Peace out. Let's go. What the heck, man?
3 more minutes to go. Still hear the PS5 in the background. PS5 in the background. No, that was a Ferris Bueller joke. That's what the Deadpool joke was parodying. Was parodying Ferris Bueller. Bad, Greatest Shamer. Bad. That was a Ferris Bueller joke. About to become 2 minutes to go. Let's speed that up to 1.25 speed. Just sitting there waiting, hoping, crying, begging for a tip to come in. Nope. There we go. Nope. Oh no, this is just video loading or buffering. Thought he finally turned the music off. He's just sitting there staring at his chat, glaring at it, begging it. Please, guys. Please. Give me more money. Do it now. That sounded a bit like the alien from Independence Day. Peace. No, peace. Oh, nope, nope, he's going to finally turn it off. He finally turned it off. Well, congratulations, DSP. You sat there staring at chat, begging for that $9, waiting for it to come in. And it didn't come in, so you finally had to turn the stream off. Womp womp. Oh shit, that was fun. Glad I did that. Glad I had today off. Oh shit, I'm gonna make me some pizza. Pizza sounds really good now. Pizza me, pizza now. Need that pizza, pizza now. Woohoo. People commenting on the post I made on Twitter. If his beard and all that wasn't so patchy, it wouldn't look so bad, but it's so patchy, so you just see that dark spot underneath his nose, and then nothing. Oh. That'd be his next thing. Alright, just get at the trolls. We're going to do a streaks without hitting the tip goal. That's right, if you want to own it to the trolls, don't tip me. Then reverse psychology works, and they all tip him. Yay! And then it fails. Because it's DSP, and he always fails. Let's see, games I'm looking forward to in 2021. Well, coming out or playing? I mean, for me, playing, Cyberpunk 2077, Hades, what's it called? Kingdoms of Amulet. Another game I want to play this year, not next year. Maybe Control, since it's going to be free. I mean, come on, it's Control. For free. Why not? Werewolf the Apocalypse looks pretty fucking badass. Neo 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Once I get a PS5. Wait a minute, they got... Wait a minute. Oh no, that's for the Switch. It's like, wait a minute. I was pretty sure the game already came out. I was like, oh yeah, Games of Emulator 2021, March 16th. It's like, it's already out. No, that's for the Switch. Alright. Let's see. Pokemon Snap for the Switch might be fun to play. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, because that's Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I've played 2, Platinum. Played 3, enjoyed it. Never played 1 because it wasn't... Can you edit to look black and white and grainy? Let's see. I is now black and white. The Dodge is now black and white. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be coming out on, oh shit, I need to get Epic Store back on my computer. Because I got the Pillars of Eternity to download. I got the Definitive Edition, whatever. So I got to get that and download it again. Fuck me, I completely forgot about Epic Store. I mean, it took me like 3 days before I got Discord on here. Oh. I could... I am not sure how I would make that black and white. It's a good question. How would I do that? I don't know. I don't have any photo editing. Epic Store has Fortnite. My nephew likes to play it, and he's really good. Like, I've won playing with him. I never won before my own, but I've won playing with him. And then, yeah, they had Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition for free. It's like, you know what? For free, I might just want to grab that. So I'm going to have to remember to download those. Son of a bitch. Goddamn, it's almost 5 o'clock. Spider-Man Noir. Where's the wind coming from? Why is he in black and white? That's actually the last movie I watched, because I had finally got my HTC Vive headset set up. You know, check out Audio Shield, check out Space Pirate Trainer, go to VR Chat, go to Rooftop Movies. It's like, oh, they got Spider-Man. Well, they got a bunch of movies. Like, I haven't seen Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. I click that. It's like, they have a 3D version? How does 3D work in VR? Let's find out. And it does very well. 3D hurts my eyes, so after watching the movie, my eyes kind of hurt, but so worth it. Yeah, you want me to wear a gangster hat, huh? Wow, so the police can pick me out from the lineup? Not gonna happen there, Snapper. Trying to act like I'm some 1920s gangsta. Gotta run some moonshine later. Terrible. Alright, well, now, fuck, I really want pizza now, so I think I'm gonna go make me some pizza. How terrible. Go Goblins. Although tomorrow night I have shit. Why can I not remember the name of the game, damn it? Let's see. I know I got it around here somewhere. Here's my character creation sheet. My character is... Technically, it's a sword possessed by a ghost. Some powerful wizard that died millennia ago, but he soul bound himself to the sword, much like Voldemort. and he gets picked up. When he gets picked up by someone, he possesses them and he controls them. Right now he's controlling a troll, which normally trolls aren't a playable character. But because he's possessed by me, I can play as him. And it's like, well, how did a troll get it? Well, the sword, picks someone. Then eventually that person gets old and weak. It's like, all right, well, time to kill this guy off when there's someone I think is worthy of me nearby. He did that. Like, the old man's going down a trail through the forest, gets attacked by bandits, kills the bandits, but he dies as well. Troll smells some blood, goes, ooh, fresh horse meat. And then, no, pick me up. Picks up the sword, not realizing what's going on. And then, bam, he is now possessed by my character. So, yes. And it's like, what's your character's name? They're pretty sure it begins with an M. Or no. Maybe an E. Possibly a Z. So now my character's name is M-O-Z-E. Mose. Because they can't remember what their name was because they've been dead for, over 1,000 years. And like one of their character classes or traits, whatever, is ancient history because they've been around so long, they'll come across a village and be like, hey, how come we gotta take a ferry? Where's the bridge? What bridge? The bridge that goes over the river. That collapsed over 200 years ago. Like, oh, it's been a while since I've been here. Not the ring. And the guy's like, I'm not exactly sure how to make this character work because like he's just throwing me into the middle of a game already. So he's already made me like, level 8 or 10, whatever it is. So that way I have like all the skill points. So I'm like at the same level as his other people in his party that he's dungeon mastering for. It's like, I'm not exactly sure how to introduce a troll because again, trolls aren't typically playable characters. They're enemies. And it's like, you do know if the troll gets killed, I'll be calling out like, someone's got to pick me up. They pick up the sword. Now, because here's the other thing. Like, they don't know that I'm not the troll. That I'm the sword possessing the troll. It's like, no, if the troll gets killed, when the characters pick up then, well, they have to do a will check. If they fail a will check, you take control of their character. It's like, oh, this could be fun. I know. Nerd. So much nerd. Crystal Lights. Monstrous page for Shadow the Demon Lord. The book and all that was made by the same person who made Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. But he wanted to make his own where, like, corporate and all that aren't looking over his shoulder going, no, change that, no, we don't like that, change it. So he made his own, like, Dungeons & Dragons game and put it online. Alright, well, that, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. Holla holla for the dollar and the crispy bacon. Easily amused. I mean, come on. How can you not be amused by that name? Let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it bigger. If only it was that easy. Told myself I was going to cry. Alright, with that, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.